From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Brian Whitman. With Gina Grad on news, Bald Brian on sound effects, and Kat Von D calls in. And now, a man who has never been described as a concerned parent, Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice to get on. A mandate. You get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian.
Hey, buddy, you got hot phones.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do a little ass crack and back sack in the morning. Everyone's got their rolls cut out, so we'll do that with Brian Whitman as well. He also does Whoopi Goldberg.
What?
He does some great impressions. And Joy Behar, so it says.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll be curious to see how that one will go.
I had no idea he did Whoopi.
I was talking to my friend Matt, the moderator, DeAndrea, who lives in Venice, and I talked to him while he walks around, and he's like, I got to go around this homeless encampment, and there's a fire and a dumpster, and, you know, he lives right in the middle of the whole place. And I was talking to him a couple days ago, and he went, oh, here come the 12 o'clock boys.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bunch of guys on dirt bikes and quads, ATVs and stuff like that, just sort of wheeling down the street.
Oh, fun.
In a large group.
Okay.
It's got a lot of, we're getting a little shades of Thunderdome.
Very.
Out here, sort of marauding groups
Right.
of outlaws on vehicles that are not approved for street use.
Not street legal.
Not street legal. Now, if you live out here, almost everyone here, I think, I have multiple times, pulled over for no front license plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I had to go to the police station to, show I had it strapped on.
yeah, but as far as the guys in the quads and the dirt bikes,
Yeah.
not so much justice
Where do you
for
put
them.
that?
Empty bags. But it's also a logistical thing. So I was like trying to figure it out because the quad and the dirt bike, they don't have a lot of range in the street. It's kind of hard to make it from South Central to Venice Beach on a quad.
True. Very true.
So then the question is are they trailering in? Is there a drop zone?
Interesting.
Yeah,
they're not on the freeway.
Yeah, we got Laguna Seca coming up, and the Rolex Historics. We don't drive the cars there. They're all get trailered in, and then once they get in, then you can drive them. So
There are people who are super into like their toys and thus have a toy hauler. But do these guys seem like this might be their only vehicle?
yeah, I don't know. We could do. We do rich man, poor man. We should do white man, black man, the quad. Because I guarantee Ted Nugent has covered more ground on a quad than he has in a truck in the last 5 years. And again, it's not really the dominion of the Jew or the Asian or even the Hispanic. It's not. It's either you're bow hunting and you're out with Ted, or you're a 12 o'clock boy. Now I would call it the 12 o'clock boy because there's a good doc. And I've watched it, and it's on our Pluto channel for our Chassis TV channel. I think it's 687. I think you can watch it there for free. But it's a
it is. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, it's a really interesting doc. It just kind of follows these Chicago inner city kids, and they all have these dirt bikes and quads and stuff.
And do tricks and
Again, it's we do have an interesting relationship with poverty these days, because the most impoverished people still manage to get their hands on an ATV with some two-stroke fuel in that tank and take it out for some hot laps.
Sure.
Now,
Where you choose to spend your money.
Now in Chicago, they just do wheelie. No, it was Baltimore's where the show's from. I was in Chicago with Matt, the moderator, famously a year and a half ago, just
having a quiet brunch,
just sitting out on Lake Street, whatever. When we were at a famous steakhouse, and there was that thing where they pushed everyone outside because of COVID. So we're just standing there, and guys were just doing wheelies down the street, and eventually clipped some woman who was stepping off the curb. It could go no other way. If you're going to be on ATVs doing wheelies down the street, there's people walking around and
when everyone's been pushed outside,
trying to have their steaks outside, you're going to clip somebody. So they did that. But it also, again, it speaks to a sort of it's a general, we've lost control of the city. Because if you have a whole group of people on two-stroke vehicles with no license and no brake lights and no anything.
No regard for passersby.
Just off-road vehicles just going up and down the street, wheeling. They do it with impunity because you would have never. I don't know if you guys ever had the mini bike situation as a kid, but at some point I mowed enough lawns and washed enough cars to get hold of this like little Trail 50 mini bike.
Oh, look at you.
And every once in a while we'd try to go out and take it on the street. Well, all the time. But it was always where are the cops? You would never go down Ventura Boulevard on one. You'd be immediately arrested. It was like, we'll take this side street and then we'll go down that side street. And then there's a little time when you have to go up on Laurel Canyon. We'll just push them. We'll just push them on Laurel Canyon. Then we'll hop back on and go back on the side streets
Otherwise, you
again.
just go up and down Kling all day.
Right, Kling Street. It's funny. My friend Chris, who had the other Trail 50 that his dad got him, did live on Kling Street.
Of course he did.
In North Hollywood. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, we got 12 o'clock boys now, which is kind of a...
We made it.
Yeah, it's a
feather in the cap.
It's one of those. It's a marker. It's sort of like if your city has 12 o'clock boys, then you probably lost control of the city. And Chicago, Baltimore, and now Los Angeles, or Venice Beach at least, has 12 o'clock boys. But also, Chris has been sitting on this, but I think there was that horrible situation. It was about 2 weeks ago. A young couple out like celebrating Puerto Rican Day parade or something. They backed into somebody. They're in the wrong neighborhood. They both got pulled out of the car and then they got executed. Did you guys remember that story?
I remember that.
It was in Chicago. It's everyone's worst nightmare. You're driving with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. Next thing you know, you take a wrong turn and you back into somebody, and next thing you know, a mob is pulling you out of your car.
The premise of your starring debut in Judgment Night.
That's right. And the guy was literally they just executed him. They just on the street, laying on the ground, bullet to the head.
And his girlfriend.
Were executed. But in the background was an ATV.
Oh.
I noticed. So it was like the quad runner. I do like we have
hypervigilant.
We do have a new version of society where one guy's the executioner and then the next guy works for the documentary film crew that is watching him execute people.
Screams World Star Hip Hop.
I'll just stand back with my iPhone and film you executing this innocent couple on the street.
But get involved for artistic reasons.
This is the new change a light bulb joke. Like one to change it and two to take a video of it.
Right. So anyway, it just made me think. Oh, we got the 12 o'clock boys are a thing. And so if you live in a city and you have 12 o'clock boys, I think it's time to take a good look in the mirror. Venice has them now. I don't know. Beverly Hills wouldn't tolerate it.
Probably not.
Probably Encino, maybe Studio City probably wouldn't do it. But Venice, the word has gotten out that if you want to go to Venice Beach, California and do your thing, you may do your thing there.
Yes. And there was that Instagram account, Street People of Los Angeles. The one from today is people pulling up with out-of-state plates and literally taking everything out of the car and going to set up camp on the beach, like as the new home. So you are right about that. My question about the 12 o'clock boys, because I haven't seen the doc, are they more in the like lovable scamp category or like dangerous category?
They're like, you're rooting for them in the sense that they're a bunch of 9-year-old, 7-year-old, 11-year-old, like inner city, Baltimore kids. And of course, when you do a doc, you get to know the subject of the doc. And it's like, oh, she's got a mom. She's horrible. Never knew his dad. It's got to take to the streets. But what ends up happening is they would end up doing like wheelies around cop cars and kicking in the door and stuff. And the cops couldn't pursue them because if the cops pursued them and they got into an accident, no one's wearing helmets or anything, then the cops would be at fault and prosecuted for chasing the guys on the motorcycle. Yeah, it's totally logical. And it's funny, one cop did pursue somebody once and the kid did kill himself on the bike, and they all went after the cop, obviously, because that's the New World Order. The other thing, Kat Von D is going to zoom in a moment.
Phone
Tattoo
in.
artist and model and entrepreneur, now recording artist. So we'll talk to her in a second.
And
But
do you know
speaking of recording, yes.
I dressed up as her for Halloween one year.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see that picture?
No.
Oh.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Gina, not bad.
Thank you.
Is that some sort of cultural appropriation?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that was a thing when I
Yeah.
did this. It was like 7 years ago.
You're appropriating trash culture.
How dare you?
I was working on my book with Mike Lynch yesterday, and someone had a question about cultural appropriation, and we all know a couple of white chicks can't open a taco truck. Not in Portland. No, that's cultural
Right.
appropriation.
Sure,
but it's funny, our relationship with cultural appropriation, which is serving the food of some land you don't hail from is considered that, or dressing up as Speedy Gonzales or something. That's all no-fly zone. But if you really think about it, the ultimate cultural appropriation is marrying. You know, it's a mixed couple, and your kid is going to be mixed. That you've appropriated that culture
Yeah.
both directions.
right.
We applaud that.
Yes.
So the same group that is against the taco trucks for cultural appropriation is all in on a mixed marriage, which is, to me, a ultimate form of cultural appropriation. But I said to Lynch, I started to think about it. I said, I don't know what this thing is. Like, we want to divide everyone. You're in this group. This is your sexuality. This is your heritage. This is who you pray to. This is where you hail from. We have the Latinx over here and the Black Lives Matters over there, and we have all the different groups. I said, the place that has the most groups that is still completely segregated? Fucking prison. The prison yard is the ultimate realization of the Chicanos got to stay with the Chicanos, and the Aryan race guys, they got to stay over there, and the black guys, you stay over there.
They got dialed in.
Yeah.
So,
Are we happy with that?
Well, that's kind of my thing with anything that has to do with socialism. Like, we have Cuba, we have places, we have Russia. That's what it is. Is that something you want to head toward? Like, is that like the conceit is sort of like, well, we don't want to get there, but we'd like to get halfway there. But like, I don't know, maybe we should go the other direction.
Yeah, Google Cuba protest and see what comes up lately. These people want out.
They want out. So anyway, I thought the prison yard being the ultimate
You got to race up.
segregated place on this planet. I mean, the only sort of tolerated, I guess, or sanctioned,
Certainly encouraged
Yes.
and approved.
Well, when you enter,
The guards aren't saying like, all right, you guys, like, get together and mix it up.
No. All right. Now, speaking of music and Kat Von D, I had a thought. I always have these old guy thoughts, and they're not thoughts of an old man, but they're thoughts that make you old. They're both. Which is, I was thinking of the Beach Boys' Kokomo
Oh, yeah.
song
What a slapping classic.
from 1988. Well, anytime you can get Stamos on the Congos, you got to
can't
hit.
pass
There's nothing wrong
That's
with
cultural
this.
appropriation.
Right. Now, in my world, obviously growing up many years ago, the Beach Boys were a big thing and had all those hits. And then they took forever off, and then they came back with Kokomo, 1988, number one. So I said to Chris, what was the Beach Boys' last number one hit before?
Oh, God.
So, anyone want to
70s?
guess?
God only knows.
No, earlier than I thought.
Oh, I was going to say 1970. No, it's not going to only knows because that's from Pet Sounds. I'd have to throw it out there as Sloop John B or something.
No, it was, or if you want to venture a guess, Gina, you can.
Of the year?
The year, the song.
I'll give a year. 1967.
Way off, 66.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
I thought they may have got a number one hit. No, they've had hits, but I just said number one hit. So between
number one.
Good Vibrations, 1966, last number one hit, and Kokomo, 22 years.
Wow.
But
Don't call it
get
a
ready to feel
comeback.
old between Kokomo and now.
Many more years.
32, 33 years.
This is for the Cocktail soundtrack.
That's right.
That's right.
The great
And
Tom
this
Cruise.
is also a Frankensteinian version of the Beach Boys. Brian Wilson not involved. He, of course, the creative genius. This was Mike Love, and I'm sure Al Jardine was probably there. And
How'd you know what band Mike Love was in?
wild guess. It imprinted in my mind for some reason.
Tool tune, bad song, guilty pleasure. Where
Guilty
we
pleasure.
at?
It's catchy. I mean, it's a hit for a reason, but this song is not good.
No, not good. But
Although I think Dawson, just as a fuck you to society, would play this with the windows down.
In this case, you're wrong, my dear.
Oh, wow.
This is a pile of shit. It's a bad song.
But more than a decade, we are more than a decade further away right now from this number one hit than Kokomo was
crazy.
from their last number one hit, which again just felt like a lifetime.
Yeah,
My lifetime,
generation
like
ago.
it was like from the time I was newborn
Yep.
to the time I was, on a construction site.
You guys are probably aware of this, but the Beach Boys hugely influential on the Beatles. There would be no Sgt. Pepper if it wasn't for Pet Sounds. Like Paul McCartney, like this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, gotta give him some credit.
But hugely influential.
Why is Brian Wilson still alive?
Why?
Well,
It's a big question.
Play yourself.
people die all the time. I know it's not a great argument, but
He had a rough go of it.
Why
it
is
just
Keith
fe-
Richards still alive?
it's a good point. Like, I just feel like he was like morbidly obese. He was strung out on drugs.
himself in his room
He
for
didn't get
5
out of
years.
bed, like, shouldn't he have just sort of had the ticker?
Perished.
Just sort of had a major heart attack when he was 68 or something.
God, he's
Yeah.
lived a tough life. His dad was abusive. The dad who obviously, Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson, his dad would, as a punishment, box his ears. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
something
Great
used to
for a
do as
musician.
boxer. That he's deaf in one ear and always has been, which is amazing because he pioneered the stereo sound.
Yeah. It's
Ironic.
ironic. And who are these dads? And by the way, the ear boxing sounds funny. It's rough
That
if
hurts.
you've ever
It
had it.
hurts.
If
Ever
you have
had
an
it
older
done.
brother, I've experienced it many times. It sucks.
Yes.
You know what else they do?
Hmm.
Well, I wonder if his father did this. And when you get braces, my brother would pin me down and rub my cheeks together because
that's
the
a
braces
bonus.
hurt so
That
bad.
doesn't feel nice.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I just like how cruel kids were.
And then pin my shoulders down and just tap my clavicle as hard as he can for as long as he can.
Titty twisters,
Yeah, I
Indian
didn't have
burns, all that stuff. Hand over your face, smack it. A Hertz donut.
Yeah,
It was
oh, yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
Dennis Wilson, hugely involved with the Manson family.
Yeah,
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I was a big Beach Boys fan, Beatles fan.
Yeah.
I did a lot of deep dives back
Yeah.
in the day.
Is when you say hugely involved, I know like they stayed at his house
Okay,
and
sorry.
stuff.
I mean, he recorded songs with that.
Yeah.
I would say hugely in as much as anyone could be hugely involved with a cult who is a pop star. But I mean, he
Not on the
recorded-
cult side.
Yeah, he recorded. Well, he hung out a lot.
Yeah,
at
but he
the
didn't go on
ranch.
like murder sprees, but he was recording with them and they
at a
stayed
certain-
there.
At a certain point, yeah, he drew the line. But he recorded songs with them, hung out at the ranch a lot. I think he, Chris might have to verify this, but I think he invited then budding musician Charles Manson around to the Beach Boys. And I think the reaction was not good from
Yeah.
the Beach Boys side. It was like, who the fuck? This guy's insane.
Well, it is
Which
good.
he was.
Now, if you're the other members of the Beach Boys, you think it wouldn't be good, but big picture, it would be good.
How so?
Because several years after you were introduced to Charles Manson and Tate and LaBianca and the murders and that insanity
Sure.
and all the helter-skelter written in blood and everything like that, several years later, when the Beach, was it Love or was it the, who was the Manson friend?
Dennis Wilson.
Dennis Wilson.
drummer.
At some point later on, Dennis Wilson would go, "Hey, man, I met this Calypso band. These guys are out of sight." Oh,
sure.
As good as,
Just like Charlie?
just like Charlie. Just like Charlie. No, I just want him to sit in.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Hey, you
yeah.
guys got to hear my friend Charlie's songs. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, you would get afraid when that guy is Charles Manson. Now, we all have versions of that. Like, oh, that dude got drunk and he got sick on himself at the party. We're not inviting any more of your friends to the party. But Charles Manson,
That sets the bar
Yeah.
very high.
no more,
coming back from
no
that.
more dudes you met over at Musso and Frank's that you can come hang out and jam with us anymore. That's a no.
You don't get it. He lives on a ranch.
That's right.
Dawson, did this
Yeah,
come
he-
up in
he-
your Dark Side book?
Yes, it is in there. He fancied himself a songwriter, so he submitted songs to the Beach Boys and to the Beatles, and And then, he did hang around the Beach Boys very briefly, and they all figured out he's a weirdo. And, when they heard his demos, they're like, you're a weirdo. But that's all it took.
There weren't great songs.
Kat Von D is on line one. Kat?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, you got an album out called Love Made Me Do It. I will pay you a compliment. I've not heard the single yet, but I talked to, when people are known for acting or tattooing and acting or modeling or whatever, and then they release an album, there can be a little eye roll there. And
of course.
I said to my producer, what's Kat playing? He said, it's got music. And I said, oh boy, how's that? And he went, it's really good.
Yeah.
So
I heard the single. It's very atmospheric, it's got a real vibe to it. I like it.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, I've seen like so many actors and release music, and it's terrible. And it's like most of the time I feel like, oh, you're just playing the part, and you don't really care about the music, or it's just you're just playing another role. And but I think a lot of people know me for tattooing and for makeup and stuff like that. But I've been actually playing piano and was like classically trained to play music since I was 5 years old. So music has always been like my first and foremost biggest passion. So, but I totally get it. I would eye roll at me too.
So what's life like for you now? I mean, God, there's been so many years have passed, but you've obviously, people know you from, you have the Guinness Book of World Records for most tattoos in what, 24-hour period?
Yeah, I set the Guinness Book World Records, and then my my jerk ex-husband broke it the next day because he has Napoleon syndrome.
Then you set the record for fastest divorce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, who was your jerk ex-husband at the time?
Oh, I hate to even be in the same sentence with him. It's appalling, but I laugh because basically there's only one person that can ever set it, and can't change that. So I think a few people have broken the record since as well. But yeah, I did 400 tattoos in 24 hours. So I averaged one tattoo every 2.8 minutes.
Damn.
Couple things. Feel like it'd be hard to find people to get in that line.
Yeah, you have to have a big supply.
No. We had, I think, 3,000 people in line.
To be tattooed by Kat Von D, the line would be down the block.
But to me, tattoo and in a hurry those are tough. Yeah.
But, it was also a charity, so I think people were excited to, give to the cause and all that good stuff. So, yeah, but it was a fun experience I'll never do again, but yeah.
I'm wearing at least 3 of Kat Von D's makeup, different makeup right now.
Really?
That's awesome.
I cannot tell you, between the lock, like the tattoo lock foundation, I'm wearing the eyeliner and the mascara. I have everything. I have the eyeshadow
amazing.
Palette. It is seriously, I go through a lot of makeup. We're girls. We try everything.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Kat, this comes up on most shows, so the audience is familiar with this.
No, this is you really do. The makeup line is incredible, and we're so me and everyone I know so grateful that it's out there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I mean, I sold the makeup line about a year and a half ago, but...
Well, I hope you made a shit ton because it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm really proud of my formulas. They are absolutely the best, to be honest. But I'm glad you like them.
Your background is pretty diverse and pretty interesting. Can we get into that?
Yeah, of course.
You got your first tattoo at 14. You quit school at 16 to become a tattoo artist. And is there a difference between being an artist and being a tattoo artist? I mean, is it the same gene? I mean, you have to be able to draw, right? Or
I mean, there are some tattooers that don't draw very well. I mean, they could just trace things all day. But yeah, I do believe that the best tattooers or the greater ones are always going to have a background in art. A lot of them have fine art degrees, and surprisingly nowadays, I mean, back when I first started tattooing, it was just a bunch of gnarly bikers. So times have definitely changed. Now it's a lot of hipsters tattooing. But yeah, I think intuitively you should have some kind of artistic background.
Are there any famous tattoo artists who don't have tattoos?
Yeah, and I think they get a lot of criticism within like the tattoo industry, which I've separated myself pretty much ever since I started when I was filming the TV show. But yeah, I think it's the whole like don't trust a skinny chef thing, and I get where that criticism comes, because I feel like as a tattooer, like being able to understand what someone's feeling when you're tattooing them, like pain wise and all that stuff, it really does help you understand the process a little bit more. So. There's that aspect of it, and but yeah.
What's the most painful part of your body to get the tattoo on?
People ask that all the time, and I think they assume if it's like a fatty area, like your butt or something, that it's not going to hurt. But it actually has to do more with like your nervous system. So like the base of your spine has like clusters of nerves everywhere. So like your butt is actually like a super painful place to get tattooed.
So the tramp stampers are heroes?
Mm-hmm.
Did, oh God, I got 1,000 tattoo questions. There must be tattoo requests that you couldn't realize. Someone want a swastika on their forehead or something.
Yeah, exactly. I think anything that goes against my morals, I'll never tattoo that, like no racist stuff but then there's also stuff that I think that, like as a tattooer, it's kind of your responsibility to guide people into getting something that they're not going to regret. So there has been times where I have passed up things that, a girl comes in crying because her boyfriend dumped her and she wants to get his name on her neck. I'll usually pass on that kind of stuff. Like I don't want to,
unless she has
I don't want her to wake up the next day.
You were sent to Provo Canyon School in Utah for 6 months at the age of 15. That's the one that Paris Hilton sort of famously was saying was abusive.
Yeah,
did you find it?
Yeah, that's how we actually met each other through that whole process. I didn't know she was there because I think I was there before she was.
Well, you guys are, right about the same age. I think maybe.
Yeah. She probably went earlier.
39 and she's 40. Did you experience any of that abuse that she spoke of?
Oh, yeah. Worse. I watched the documentary and it was really crazy because I thought through years of therapy I had already processed a lot of that stuff. But seeing, they didn't allow you to have cameras in there. So seeing her documentary, how they illustrated certain scenarios, like the padded cell room without the pads, like that just brought back so many memories that I totally completely forgot about. But I've made peace with all that stuff. I just can't believe that places like that are still open. And now I guess they're, enrolling children. I believe the last time I checked, like they're enrolling 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds, which is really, really insanely crazy. But yeah, it's pretty wild. I made a video about it on my Instagram a while ago, and it was really sad to see how many other people had been put into the same program, if not similar, throughout the country. There's a ton of them.
Did you get sent there for a reason?
Yeah, I think my parents, we weren't born here in the USA. My parents are from South America, and we were born in Mexico. And I just think they weren't prepared to deal with like anything really like Americanized pop culture, especially the tattooing thing really freaked them out. And I understood that, but I just think they went about it the wrong way. I think, sending somebody to a program like that to change, what they're into is just kind of, I feel like we could have solved it with a conversation, but I don't blame them. It's not like these programs tell the parents what they're going to do. They actually restrict you from having any outside conversations. So I was trapped in there for 6 months. I didn't see the sun for 6 months. No access to a phone. When you were talking to your parents, it was very closely monitored. So if you started saying anything, they would just hang up.
So they literally didn't let you outside for 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. And there was no windows. If you go on their website, they show you this front of what looks like a school, and they even have like prop school buses, which of course you never use. None of that was actually part of the facility. The facility's in the back, and it was just like, cement walls that you can't see outside.
What is their business model? I mean,
it's
terror.
insane. I mean, we were already pretty poor, and I remember my parents put their house on the loan to pay for this. And, when you have like therapists and people telling you this is the only way to fix your child, it's really sad how they really prey on scared parents. It's really a shame. I mean, there was people in there that had it a lot worse than I did, over medicating and things like that. I know there was a lot of abuse, like rape and molestation, and I didn't get messed with that way, but you definitely saw it, and it's pretty brutal.
It's just I'm not really kidding when I'm like, what's the business model? Like it seems weird that this is your business.
Well, I guess they would psychologically and emotionally break these girls down, and then they return them to their family. Like, look, your daughter's cured.
I do, but so many of these families.
That they actually make you stay there as long as possible and milk your parents for all the money that they can possibly get. And that was like a lot of people just ran out of money and would get discharged. But I remember there was a girl in there for a couple of years, and they just, they give these reports to your parents and make it sound like you're a psychotic person that needs more help and yada, yada, yada. And I just quickly learned how to lie my way out. Like, I was like, okay, here's the program. I just have to give them what they want. And it actually, I think, gave me more psychotic issues once I got out. There's definitely like a lot of just trauma, I think. They wouldn't let you use the restroom unsupervised, so there's no doors on any of the toilets, like the toilet rooms and stuff, and a counselor has to watch you go to the bathroom pretty much. So I remember the first time when I got out, going to the bathroom was really scary to me. I was like, am I going to get sent back if I close this door? Just crazy things like that.
Provo Canyon School is still in business?
That's the question. How, after all of this comes out?
There are other schools like that. I mean, this isn't just one isolated place. I mean, it's a coincidence that Paris and I were at the same place, but there's documentaries about tons of other schools that are even gnarlier. So it's pretty wild. It's crazy because if you go to the Yelp reviews, it's just one testimonial after another of like the worst stories ever. And, I can't understand why any parent now with the internet, when I got sent there wasn't the internet. So it wasn't like my parents could really research, but now I just don't know how anybody would send their kid there with, if they cared.
Right.
I was going to say, Adam, you got a 14-year-old daughter.
That's right.
Who needs in need of some schooling? Some in-person maskless schooling.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do it, but obviously the threat of doing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the table.
Well, and the way you talk about it and, what we know today about all of this stuff, it feels like it's right up there with like gay conversion camp. You just wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Brian.
Trust me.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was really crazy. Like, I'll give you an example that was one of the most extreme things that I experienced. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on your episode, but so my parents were they were terrified that I was tattooing and that I was getting tattooed. And, I was underage. I totally understand why. But so when they took me into the school, these counselors or these people, I wouldn't even call them counselors, to be honest, because none of these people are qualified. They're just a network of friends that just overlook people, and it's really awful. But so basically, my parents said, "Hey, we don't want her to tattoo anymore. Like, we need to deprogram that part, And so they took like blood work and like a stool test and a piss test, and then later on, and mind you, I turned 16 in there, so I was 15 when I was enrolled. They told me that my blood work came back as HIV positive.
Oh, Jesus!
To get you not to do it.
And they said, no, I'm not HIV positive.
No, but to get you not to
completely
tattoo.
illegal. Like, how could anybody do that? And the crazier part about it is that when I got discharged, I never got just kidding note. Like, I went out into the world thinking there was something wrong with me until I went and got tested myself, and there was nothing wrong with me. And it was just like weird scare tactics are how there's no way that can be legal. And I carried that for that entire half a year.
Yeah, and also, I mean, HIV positive used to be a death sentence.
Sure.
So that can mess with your mind.
I was a kid,
Speaking of all this craziness. You have any thoughts on Britney Spears? Because that's all in the news, and it's kind of part and parcel to this.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was a bit more informed on it. I've just heard here and there and seen a few headlines, and but I can't imagine like life with having anybody have that type of power over you. But it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there something being done to fix it?
Yeah, well, that's the news today.
Oh, we got it in the news, so we'll tease
she
it.
has some very good news, and she's very
Awesome.
happy. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, my feeling in general with everything that has to do with either Britney Spears or the state of California, everything shouldn't be predicated on whether you have money or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Laws and rules.
Sure.
And I've always said, I don't like this thing where, like, if you're an empty bag, well, the cops will leave you alone because what are they going to do? You don't have any money. But if you have money, then they're going after you. They're going to want, the state wants checks to be cut. And I feel the same way about Britney Spears. Like, if she was just some flunky white trash chick who worked at a Costco, then no one would give a shit and the parents wouldn't be involved and nobody would be. The fact that so many people are sucking at the teat of Britney Spears and so many people are getting paid. I was talking to Mark Garrigo's attorney yesterday about it. They brought in her lawyers like billable hours.
Yes.
It was insane.
It's just charge it to Britney.
And even, I think, ironically, there was like a cease and desist that was ordered for her or someone in her camp that she had to pay for.
Exactly.
She had to pay the lawyers to put that together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously
What a
insane.
mess.
It would never happen if we're just talking about someone we went to high school with who had themselves a job at McDonald's, right? So I don't like the two standards. The you have money, here's how we're going to treat you, or here's how the law will apply to you, versus you don't have any money, so the law doesn't really
nothing to see
apply. I don't like the double standard. Kat, let me give you a plug. Album Love Made Me Do It. It's available August 27th, but the newest single, I Am Nothing, is available today, so you can find that. Kat Von D, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, real quick before I leave, I just want to say, Adam, I love all the videos that you've done with PragerU, man. I think it's amazing. I love your message.
Oh, thanks. PragerU's a good place, a good guy, and if people want to get a little bite-sized 5-minute tutorial on any subject, they can go over to PragerU. So thanks for enjoying that, Kat.
Awesome. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Take care,
Thank
baby.
you.
All right, let me tell you about Stamps.com. Things are getting back to normal. Live music. Yeah, tell that to Garth Brooks, man. Going to a movie, going to the post office. Well, skip the post office. Go with Stamps.com. Mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer. I've used Stamps.com here for 11 years, maybe coming on to 12 years now. Merch, books, paperwork. You can buy and print official U.S. postage, any letter, any package, any class of mail, 24/7 at home. Up to 40% off of post office rates and up to 66% off UPS shipping rates. Switch and save feature. Quickly compare carriers and find the best rates every time. And they got a no-risk offer, 4-week trial plus free postage and the digital scale, which we always use. I think it goes up to about 80 pounds. No long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, top of the homepage, and type in Adam at Stamps.com. Enter Adam. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll do Mr. Brightside right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, just checked into an older casino in Pahrump, Nevada. Got into my room, and through the adjoining door I can hear the chirp of a smoke alarm every 27 seconds. Went to the front desk, asked them to please stop it. 2 hours later, still going. I'm going to kick the door in, and I'm going to rip it out the ceiling. Anyway, mahalo.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, man, those smoke detectors. It's so... I would watch a endless loop of people attacking smoke detectors once they've had enough. You know what I mean? Because what it is, you go from 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds.
Yeah.
So you sit and endure it for a long time, and then at some point,
You snap.
you try to get it, but you can't get to it.
Wasn't
and that's where
there-
the broomstick comes in.
Wasn't there a full Friends episode dedicated to this, that they couldn't kill it no matter what they did? It kept going.
I've literally had them, or I put them underwater trying to kill them.
And still no?
No.
Wow.
Counter argument: this guy's at a casino in Pahrump. You should be lucky there are smoke detectors.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, what's the bright side of that?
Oh my God. I filmed
You get to leave eventually.
I filmed Top Gear out there, and we stayed in Pahrump in the casino, and it's like amongst the most depressing places I've ever been in. They gave me the ambassador suite from 1972 that had the sunken tub with the shag carpet around it and stuff.
Pahrump is the noise you make when you go to Pahrump.
Yes.
When you find out you have to go.
Oh my God. All right. We have Mr. Brightside, brought to you by Ultimate Ears, by the way.
Life got you down? Can't catch a break? Thinking about ending it all? Well, don't. Let Adam turn your frown upside down. It's time for Mr. Brightside.
All right. Let's, because Vinny was in here yesterday, let's talk to Luis or Lewis? North Carolina,
that's right.
I'm going Lewis.
Irwindale, Luis.
Oh, Louise from Irwindale. Right. Yeah, he always crosses me up because if you're from Irwindale, you're Louise. If you're from North Carolina, you're Lewis.
Right.
But you went from Irwindale to North Carolina. Are you going to come out and see us this weekend?
I'm actually visiting LA again. I'm leaving tomorrow, so I can't see you there.
All right. Well, you'll be there in spirit. So what's your Brightside question?
Well, I was doing tortoise really good. I dropped 100 pounds.
Wow.
Best, of my life over COVID. I know Adam says not to blame anybody else, but myself internalized. So I gained about 60 pounds.
Oh, definitely internalized.
Mm-hmm. So during COVID,
Surprise.
you started eating again.
Yeah.
What was the big slip? I've found with me, when I'm doing good, I go to bed. When I'm doing bad, I just have this craving for chunky peanut butter at like 12 a.m. Like
With a
I'm
big
just
spoon.
watching Sports Center.
Yes.
I just want a big glob of peanut butter. I just crave it. What did
right.
What did you in, Luis?
Beer and a bunch of parties I've been going to. They invite me to places, me and my family, that I moved here, and they get together a lot, and they just have a whole mess of food, a whole bunch of beer, and it's just my willpower is not there, and I don't have the routine I had back when I lost the weight.
All right. Well, let me go Brightside on you. First off, you're the toast of the town. I mean, you're being invited to all these
I know.
parties.
Should be so lucky.
Most people pack on weight because their dog died and their girlfriend left them, and
Kind of a pint of Haagen-Dazs.
the boss told them to stay home during COVID, and now they're just sitting home crying into the Haagen-Dazs. But you're packing on weight like Roberto Duran packed on weight after he beat Sugar Ray Leonard. It's
Living
like,
the life.
I'm fucking nailing whores and traveling and boozing it up.
You're
and
the man of the hour
I'm
every
invited
hour.
to every cocktail party. So it's really, you could look down and see an ever-growing gun, or you could see your expanding popularity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would see if I looked in the mirror. The fact that you're
You're a sought-after party guest.
yes. How does this work? You go from Irwindale to North Carolina. Why are you on everyone's short list of party goers?
Better ribs.
Oh, it's because you make great guacamole.
Barbecue.
You do guacamole, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, if you make killer guacamole, then you'll
You'll
get
always be-
invited
It's your
to
golden ticket.
every party.
Do you have a secret? Would you be willing to share your recipe?
If you can keep it, I might, but I'd have to ask my wife first.
Off the air. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, I think it's garlic powder.
Yeah, what's one thing you put in there that maybe someone else doesn't?
Crisco.
Fresh avocados. You got to know what avocados to pick. You
Hold
got to
on.
pick the
Let me
right
wait
amount
this-
of
let me
onions,
write
the
this
right amount
down.
of
This is
cilantro.
breaking. I'm going to
What was
leave the
that
news
word
with
you
this
said
one.
that started with an A to make
I
guacamole?
think it was avocado.
Yep, avocado, and then we might add a little bit of diced this spice.
Dawson's pants are down.
Avocado.
Avocado and
What's
spice.
what's the key to your famous mac and cheese? Is it the mac
Or the cheese.
part or the cheese part? I would also argue now that he's morbidly obese again, the secret ingredient is brow sweat. Just sitting over there with his mortar and pestle,
It gives you that
mashing
nice
things away.
umami. Yeah.
High smoke point.
Habanero sauce. Habanero pepper.
Now you're talking.
All right.
Just a tiny bit of that.
All right. Well, look, you went down 100, so you know how it's done. You've climbed the mountain before. You've done it before. Also, guac is good when you're on the diet. The good news is with guac is, you could pretty much, good guac you could put on a flip-flop and it's good. You don't need the corn chips. You can get those cheese, those little...
The cheese crisps.
The cheese crisps.
Or veggies,
or
cucumbers.
Veggies, cucumbers.
Bell pepper.
Bell pepper. Yeah, there you go.
We're scooping.
How do I get the fire in the belly again? The motivation.
Jalapeno sauce.
That's what I'm losing now.
Well,
can I just say
yes.
one thing? Every single person always says this about a diet. The good news is I lost a bunch of weight. The bad news, I gained it all back and more. Remember, you are only about halfway of what you gained. You lost 100,
true.
you gained 60. So don't despair. Don't eat to feel better when you haven't done all the damage that so many other people have. You're very close to getting back where you need to be. Don't overwhelm yourself.
All right, you
Good
got
point,
it.
Gina. Thank you.
Stick with the guac, spread them on the bell pepper, the cucumber, the cheese crisps, and you're only a little past halfway. You didn't do what Gina said happens to most. So you've caught yourself. You've climbed that mountain before. It's time to embark on your next journey.
And easy on the beer.
And easy on the beer.
Sada
Well said.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Helpful
let's
translation.
see. Let's talk to someone's got a situation with an engagement being broken off.
That's brutal.
Steve,
Hello, Adam.
38, Raleigh, North Carolina, coming out to the show?
I am.
Oh, good. What show are you coming to?
I have tickets to the Friday night 10 o'clock show, and I would love to pull balls if that's still available, but...
I don't know if we've got all of them. Oh, it's available, Chris says. To which show?
Late show
Friday, 10 o'clock.
Do we need a ball puller?
Oh, we could do that.
All right. You
Done.
can do that, you
Look at
single
benevolent
successful guy.
Chris.
Yeah, we can do that.
From on high.
You're making me feel better already, Adam.
Yeah, what happened with the engagement broken off?
Okay, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of the story because it's a long one. But the long and short was about 2 weeks before the wedding date, a girl that I had had a fling with on a work trip probably about a year prior, but while I was with my ex, reached out to her and to inform her because she found our wedding registry online.
Found.
Yeah. And so I tried everything I could to reconcile and explain the situation and that, that was in the past. It was before we were getting engaged, any of that stuff. And she just, she's one of, and there's nothing wrong with this, but one of the people where just cheating is just the bottom line for her. And since there was any form of cheating, that was something that she was not going to be able to recover from. So,
well, let me soften the blow.
Let
me soften the blow.
2 weeks.
She wasn't really that into you.
She's looking for an out.
Yeah, she's looking
Thank
for an
God.
out because she says everyone has their rules. You know what I mean? Like it's like famously we always talk about those chicks and guys, women too. They're always like, I'm just too busy with work right now to be in a relationship. Really?
I got to focus on me.
Just tell me a guy you like, and I bet if that guy wanted to take you out on Saturday night, you wouldn't have
make
to
it
be
work.
in the office on Saturday night.
Yes.
Like you could figure it out. This happened a year ago. You weren't engaged. I get it. It's it's no feather in anyone's cap. But if she really wanted to keep going, she definitely would have.
Yeah, there's a way back in.
So
yeah,
I
think
feel like
she was really on the fence there for about a week, and had we had a little more time, I think to really kind of sort through the kind of initial knee-jerk reaction, I think things could have been a little bit different. But as soon as we had to make a decision in days to figure out if we were calling off this wedding because we had guests and things like that were coming, family members, and so I think the accelerated timeline. But I definitely do think that you're onto something there. That,
I'm gonna extrapolate it a little bit. First off, you got to call everyone or tell everyone the wedding's off. Did they accept your excuse of rolled an ankle, or you plowing a coworker at a Red Roof Inn 14 months earlier?
Steve, what happened?
Rolled an ankle.
Well, you can't limp
We can
down
bring
the
a
aisle.
chair up on the.
You can sit in the altar.
Yeah. Did you have to get into the nuts and the bolts of why it was called off? Nuts.
At that point in time, I was grasping at straws, so I was very honest with everyone. I now regret that a bit, but I was trying to own my mistake as best I could.
Now, but here's the bright side. I do believe people do what they want versus here's my policy. No cheaters, zero tolerance for cheaters, and women especially can move around the rules, break the rules, I don't do this, but I do that. They're totally flexible. She was sort of had one foot out of this. If I pumped her full of sodium pentothal, which no one uses anymore, I could have gotten her to admit before she found out this news that she was 60-40 split on the marriage, which means the divorce would have happened 2.5 years into the marriage, shortly after the birth of your first daughter.
Yeah, that would have been devastating.
Right. Steve?
I think that's a great point, and I don't know if telling myself that makes me feel any better or not, but I think it's a very good point.
And by the way, we have a new leader in the clubhouse for the absolute worst just thought you should know person.
Oh, I hate that just thought you should know people.
She found the registry and reached out for what?
Found the registry.
For what?
How do you find a registry? That's impossible. That's literally
know.
impossible. It's hard to find when you want to find.
It's like, like in 12-step, they say, when you make amends, the only caveat is don't make amends to somebody if it's just going to make you feel better and further hurt them. Like there's no reason. There's literally no reason on earth that she should have done that. That would have been a good reason.
Yeah, what was that story?
Well, what happened, what I picked up on was I think she had been, she was significantly younger than me. She was about 10 years younger than me, and I think was far more into the, thought the situation, I think, was a little more than what I thought it was on its face when it happened. And I think she had kind of periodically been Googling me and things like that because the timing was very precarious. We put things together fairly quickly, and then it wasn't more than a couple of weeks after the registry was up that this all happened. So that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I'm not super present on social media, so I don't know if that was used in any way. But
wait, hold on a second, just because it's painful. How did she reach out to your ex-fiancé, and then how did your ex-fiancé tell you what she knew?
She reached out. I believe she somehow got her cell phone number. She reached out via text, and my ex actually thought that it was one of our vendors or something because it was a number she didn't have programmed in her phone, and she was making reference to our wedding in the text message. And I just happened to actually be calling my ex at during the day because I was trying to consolidate our car insurance plans and needed her VIN number and she said, hey, she was acting very funny on the phone and then she said, do you know, and then said this person's name. And I said, my stomach dropped and I just said, where are you? Let's talk. So that's, and at that point, I don't think she had really had much communication, but she was kind of looking for information from me, and weeks out from the wedding, so it's, kind of high intensity time as far as planning goes. But then when I went to articulate, what happened, I tried to be as vague as I could, being that it was, long in the past, and tried to, just keep that at the front of things. It was before we ever got engaged, and, it wasn't, something that was still going on or present or anything like that. And I just wasn't giving her enough detailed information. So she was obviously really upset and kind of freaking out, but
details don't help.
Did she reach out to the girl to get all the details filled in?
So exactly. So since I wasn't giving her kind of enough of the details, she reached out to the girl, and they apparently had a phone conversation, and then text messages were forwarded from screenshots from years before, and without context of timelines, it looked like it had been going on for quite some time when it started as a platonic thing and then changed. So. So it was pretty rough.
All right. But this is, how long ago did this happen?
So this is actually this was just before COVID. This was in August of 2019 is when all of this went down. Yeah.
Your guy, you don't have difficulty betting young chicks. So now you're free to do it all above the board, And you're going to be up on stage with me coming up, Friday night, late show?
Doesn't help bed checks, trust me.
Good Night Comedy Club. I think still a couple tickets around. So, all right. You dating? Seeing anyone new?
Well, I didn't date at all for roughly a year. Just kind of licked my wounds a little bit, and then COVID hit, which made dating more complicated. So I've just kind of spent most of my time. I'd actually moved from DC to Raleigh during that time. So I just moved to Raleigh about a week ago. So
Steve, quick personal spank bank question from a podcaster who cares. When you're going for the spank bank jack theme, do you pick the trollop who's 10 years your junior, who ratted you out with the retro vengeance jack?
Strumpet.
Or do you have the remorseful, tearful fiancé jack?
I guess it depends on the mood you're in.
Or do we toggle back and forth?
It's definitely a toggle, but I would say I probably lean more towards the tearful one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sad. Interesting. Jim Croce wrote a song about it, I think. Gina, you don't know. Well, there's a vengeful Jack.
I didn't realize that. I thought you want
a remorseful Jack, and there's a happy Jack.
I thought you'd want to eternal sunshine that girl from your mind.
That's a Who song. Happy Jack.
That's right. No, there's room.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so somebody I have long since been with could still be...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did.
A wistful Jack?
I never thought of that.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Jack. What do you think it's about, Gina?
I guess I know now.
So just the occasional vengeance Jack, but not a theme.
Yeah, there's still a lot more animosity towards that individual than the other. The other, she didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I know. That's why you have to toggle back and forth between the happy Jack and the vengeful Jack. That's all.
Well,
right.
Rules are
divorce dodged.
Divorce dodged.
Yep.
That's right. Still young.
Broken
in your 30s. Joining. Didn't get anyone pregnant.
That's great.
Did not get the young girl pregnant.
No.
Maybe you take another shot at the young chick now. You circle back.
She's matured.
Yeah. She seems great, like a great partner.
It'd be an awkward wedding.
What about the one who dropped a dime on you?
That's her, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Go back and hit that again. Yeah. It'll be more nuanced than it was the first time.
There's more going on. More subtext.
All right, Steve. We're going to hug it out up on stage when I see you this weekend.
All right. I look forward to it.
Or tonight, right? Yeah.
That's
All
right.
right. Thanks, Jam. Let's see. Let's see if I can power through these last two. Mark, 51, Colorado.
Hi, Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
That's about all I had. My tone doesn't go so high.
Yeah.
Hi, Gigi. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. What's your tale of woe, Mark?
Yeah, this is like, whoa, put on the brakes, whoa. I've been dating this girl for 2 years now. In fact, my first date was the last time you were in Golden.
Wow.
By the by. And then we went for this recent show as well. So you marked our 2-year anniversary. Thank you, sir, for coming out.
Thank you.
I was going to be your ball boy 2 years ago, but the hopper didn't show. Anyway, long story, just reference. But so one of the reasons I started dating this lady is she didn't want kids because I have a few of my own, a couple of exes, a couple of anyway.
Yeah, I collect and trade.
But she's changed her mind and wants another baby. And I'm wondering, 51, I can't have children serially my whole life, can I?
Are you
would this be a
singer?
relationship deal breaker? Sorry.
How old is she?
Early 30s.
Well, first off, congratulations on being in your 50s and banging around with someone who's in their early 30s. That's not too shabby. I mean,
Thank you, sir.
this comes with that territory, but if you're going to hook up with a chick who's, almost 20 years younger than you, this is going to be one of those things that just goes along with that territory. Now, I'm going to make things better on a couple of fronts. If you found me a woman in her early 30s who was single or, in a relationship and did not want kids, I don't trust that woman. That is its own category. That's its own thing. So
we should have talked 2 years ago.
Don't care.
She's healthy and that she wants a kid.
Thanks, Gina.
And she's young enough to be able to have a kid. So you got those two things going. The other aspect of it is she just basically, she didn't change her mind. She just said one thing to not get you to flee. And now that you've been hanging around for a while and she's got her claws into you, she's really just saying what she felt and thought in the first place.
Shit, yeah.
Also, she has found you suitable enough and attractive enough and whatever enough to want you to sire a kid with her. So these are all kind of first world problems. These are all these are compliments. You guys living together?
Yeah, sir. We bought a house last year up in the mountains.
Could you surprise her with
renovating it?
Surprise her with a puppy and by yourself 18 months?
I checked that box already. The puppy will be a year old in November.
Oh,
How many kids do you have now?
I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old from a previous marriage, and a 26-year-old from a previous.
Wow.
Previous marriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is this going to
grandkids? Sorry. Yeah.
Is this going to be a deal breaker for you? I mean, look, I know a lot of guys who got divorced, remarried. I'm never going to have it, and they had kids, and they're happy they had kids.
But will I be that 75-year-old dropping off their kid at kindergarten?
Who cares?
I mean,
those rules seem to have gone
there's
right
no
out
more,
the window.
There's no more rules anymore. Botox fixed all that.
Yeah.
So I would I think A, she's healthy. She wants kids. B, she wants your kid.
Yeah.
She's really into you. And C, you don't have any problem shitting out kids. Let's just be one more. I say you go for it, and you'll be happy. And all the mistakes you made with the 26-year-old who hates your guts right now, you won't have that with this kid because now you're seasoned and mature.
Good point.
And
wow,
you already went the puppy route, so I'm out of ideas. Oh, by the way, Chris says your fiance's hot. He remembers them.
Yeah, long blonde.
This is uncomfortable.
You got a hot young chick.
Sorry?
You got a hot young chick. with good genes and good bone structure.
And chin up.
Give her a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That was easy.
All right, don't pull out. All right, last one. Let's see. Down at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
4. Krista, 53. Raleigh, North. Everyone's from Raleigh, North. Everyone's from North
Great.
Carolina. Good. You coming to the show?
I definitely am. I'm coming to both shows.
Oh, good. Say
And
hi after
I
the
now
show.
have a new thing to complain about because I wanted to ask to pull your balls, and now you gave it to somebody else.
Well, that's
now
all
I'm
right.
bummed out
baby.
about that.
There's always the green room. And the oversized sectional sofa and Mike eating chicken tenders next to us.
Shit, yeah.
There you go. All right, there we have it.
I talked to Mike today, by the way. He was jerky shopping.
Of course he was. You got a trip
He
coming
was
up.
shopping for jerky for the road.
You see him eating chicken tenders. You don't see him. He pounds cakes when you're on stage.
Cake?
Like, yeah, he just goes
Plural?
ham.
Cakes.
Like he orders the whole dessert menu and he just pounds it all.
Great.
How is he not 400 pounds?
I don't know. He's active. He's got a good metabolism, and he gets out
Yeah, I
and
think he
moves around
saves
a
it all
lot.
for these trips.
That makes sense.
Krista, what's your problem?
So my original problem was that I am just over what is going on in this country. I can't take the Zoom meetings anymore. I have worked every single day in the office since this whole thing began, and I cannot take the fact that there are people who don't want to come back to the office. I can't take the fear. I can't even look at another thing of hand sanitizer. I'm over it. If I see one more person driving in their car with a mask on by themselves, I'm going to lose my mind. I just don't understand how we're ever going to get through this as a country. And it's giving me the blues, Adam, I have to tell you.
Yeah. Well, all right. I have the same thing. I was just talking to Drew about this. I'm on the eve of taking a bunch of commercial flights and can already hear everyone going nuts with the mask. And again, as we were discussing, interesting in that I've flown every 3 weeks for the last, since before COVID. I never broke it. We went from every 2 weeks to every 3 weeks or whatever. 1 year ago, when we were in the throes of the pandemic, on the airplanes, fast and loose with the mask. Now, with vaccinations, 0% of the people on the airplane were vaccinated when I flew a year ago. Now, depending on where the flight leaves and where it's going, it's well over 50% because think about the group that can fly.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are slightly more affluent people who can purchase the ticket.
Yeah.
They're online. They're savvy. They're whatever. They are going ballistic on airplanes with the mask now, much more than they were a year or a year and a half ago, which is, I'm trying to think of where the mandate came
Playing
down
a little
from.
catch up.
Either way,
It's a total lack of common sense. There's no common sense left in this country. It's ridiculous. And nobody has a motor. I hear you say that all the time.
Ugh.
I've worked since I was 16 years old. I got a job at McDonald's, Adam, on my 16th birthday so that I could start working right
What a way
away.
to
And I have
celebrate.
worked every
Virtue
single
signal.
day since I was 16.
Well-
and nobody wants to work anymore.
Well, listen, here is the good news and the bright side of this is, and when I was growing up, no one really talked about work or work ethic because it was assumed you had to work. Like everyone
Else you
just
wouldn't get
worked,
Right.
that's what it was. We talked about talents and gifts and training. Now you can essentially rise to the top by simply having a motor, something that everybody potentially could have, but less and less people do. So the good news is, do you have kids?
I do have kids. They're in their 20s.
You just got to get those lazy, ungrateful fucks to get a motor in them. And if they get a motor, they can be talentless and
Go right to the top.
they can be everything and just go right to the top simply by going Rudy.
What are you talking about?
That's right, son. You go Rudy on everyone's ass. You just outwork everybody. But now it's going to be like if Rudy got to start at quarterback.
He ended up in jail.
Exactly. Well, and my kids are fine, but people who we're trying to find as employees, they just don't have a motor. Nobody wants to work anymore. I don't understand it. I just don't understand how people think that everything should be handed to them and they shouldn't have to put in the effort. It's just
They never put it that way. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They never go, I think
That's
everything
true.
should be handed to me and I shouldn't have to put in an effort. They start talk in terms of safety and disenfranchise and danger and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
I don't know, Chris, I will say this. There's some like-minded folks like you and I, and we will meet this weekend at Good Nights Comedy Club, and we will commiserate together over a highball or two while Mike eats cake with his hands. Cakes.
Face first.
Well, I'd be happy to shake your hand and then eat a piece.
Oh, sorry. Then eat a peach. All right. I got to give away some ultimate ears. I feel like Steve in the engagement from Raleigh.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's by far the
Steve,
most
are you still there? Steve, you're going to feel better because I'm giving you some ultimate ears.
Oh, excellent. Well, I feel better already.
All right. Let's play some, let's go outro here.
Feel better? Good. Thank you, Mr. Brightside.
Well, ultimate ears, everyone. We rely on technology so much these days. The earbuds. I never thought they'd be this big a part of my life, but they are ultimate ears. You can spend thousands of bucks for the high-end custom fit stuff, the real pro-level stuff. But the other stuff is kind of a one-size-fits-some, and you get a little irritation here. UE Fits, that's Ultimate Ears Fits, true wireless custom fit earbuds from Ultimate Ears. Premium sound, all-day comfort. Again, you can do it yourself. You used to have a tech come in, and I remember being fitted for an IFB a million years ago and other things, and they mold it, and it's got a guy comes in there with a chemistry degree.
Yeah, these are the best earbuds you can get. You do it all from home, and it's just some crazy light technology that molds these silicone buds to ears. They never fall out.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's another good angle. A guaranteed perfect fit in 60 seconds, 8 hours of continuous playback on single charge, and up to 20 hours with the charging case. And if you don't love them as much as I do, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, plus free shipping, returns, and a 1-year warranty. Right, Dawson?
For a limited time, get 15% off your pair of UE Fits true wireless earbuds at ue.com/fits. Just use promo code Adam at checkout. That's 15% off with promo code Adam at ue.com/FITS.
Well, our old friend Brian Whitman's going to come in. We'll do a little back sack, ass crack, and back sack. Everyone's got their roles to play. And I want to hear what Whoopi Goldberg sounds like and Joy Behar. We'll talk to Brian Whitman right after this. Radio personality and all-around good guy Brian Whitman's going to join us. The news is coming as well. We got a lot of funny stuff coming your way in this segment. First, I'll tell you about LifeLock. After last year, we all deserve a little summer fun. But be on the lookout for travel scams by cyber criminals who want to steal your identity. Identity verify travel deals with the company. Sorry, let me try that again, Matt. Independently verify travel deals with the company. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives every day. We put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cyber criminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats like your social security number for sale on the dark web. If they detect your information has potentially been compromised, they will send you an alert. Protect yourself with a LifeLock, right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can keep what's yours with LifeLock by Norton. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year by using promo code Adam. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to lifelock.com and use promo code Adam for 25% off. And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Port St. Richie, Florida. A 30-year-old man was arrested after he refused to pay for his meal at a restaurant and exposed his genitals to other customers. The restaurant was Kickin' Wings with a Z. Definitely not a Jew.
Brian Whitman, one of our favorites, has joined us. He is back. Brian is a 30-year radio veteran, talk show host and impressionist, comedian as well. And you can shoot him a tweet at Brian, spelled like a human being with an I. Brian Whitman.
How are you guys?
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I was intrigued because I know you do all the voices, the Lenos and the Don Imuses and, of course, the Trumps and all that. But I saw Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar on your list.
Yeah.
And I want to know what that possibly sounded like.
Well, the Whoopi Goldberg comes from my time with our friend Conway, of course, Gina and Adam, our friend Tim Conway Jr., when we were working together, because he had a little drop where it was not Whoopi Goldberg, but it was a lady on the news who was talking, I don't know, some goofy story, and she said the following words, and she sounded exactly like Whoopi Goldberg. So I'm actually doing her to do Whoopi. And she said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" That was all. That's all I do. What are you doing? That's it. But when you mix her up with Joy, because Joy came on The View last year as like a physicist. She was studying vaccines. It was so ridiculous.
I have a stack of papers here. Oh, yeah. No, what? Let me tell you about smallpox. The smallpox vaccine took 19 years, okay? So Trump, he's just steamrolling through. I'm not going to take it. Forget about it.
And she starts to run down like genetics, and she really gets into,
forget about it. You want to talk about polio? A couple of centuries. And now you know it as Viagra. I'm Joy Behar with the rest of the story.
You know, it's just, people got a little crazy. I don't know if you know that, but since the last time I saw you, some folks have had a tough time.
I know, including Brian Whitman.
I got the big C.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
Sure.
How did, I know you were talking off the air, down 90 pounds since the height.
Well, since the fat, you can say fat, it's okay. I'm a realist. I mean, I know what I was, and I know what I am, and I'm not really very thin.
How'd you get down 90 pounds?
Well, it took a long time, and I have to say some of it was not my plan, but I started, and I would walk at night. I know that sounds like...
It was great.
Yeah, but it's not very sexy.
Yeah.
No,
but
I
look
know.
who you're talking to.
No, but the thing about weight loss, and we always kind of talk about this, is it's a lot like scars. You know, if you say to someone it's like a scar on their forehead or something, they go, where'd you get that? And they'd like to say a duel. Mm-hmm. Somebody insulted the honor of my fiance, so I was in Spain at the time.
I have no choice.
Or whatever. But it's always, I was sleeping and my brother threw a Tonka truck at me when I was 9. Like, it's always blah. And losing weight's always the same boring story. It's always like, I stopped drinking Mr. Pibb. I started walking at night. And it's like, it doesn't sound sexy or fun.
But it worked.
And it wouldn't be in a book.
Right.
You know, there's no diet book that says that.
I don't think so.
But it's every story says, stop doing this, and I started doing it. It's really, every diet book should just be called, I stopped doing this, I started doing that. I stopped driving through Wendy's at 2 a.m., and I started taking hikes.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I had my less than sexy. People would say, how'd you lose it? And I said, well, I've decreased my portion size. Oh, very good, Brian. Real good. And it did work for a little while. And then I got, I'm down 94 pounds total.
That's unbelievable.
That is awesome.
Did you cut out my favorite thing that I only know about from you, which is back in the old days for the quote-unquote nucleus, you'd buy us every night the Philly's best cheesesteaks over by KLSX.
I haven't cut out anything I like to eat. I haven't cut out anything. I just, I just walk around a little more.
Good. That's great.
I know. It's diabolically simple, yet there's some sort of machine that makes billions of years off of Marie Osmond telling you about have all the fudge brownies you want. And somehow
Do you like pasta?
We can't let it go.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. The thing that's always funny about this is 7-year-olds know the answer. Just little less birthday cake and a little more running around.
Right. Yeah, but it's like my habit before was so extreme. The eating was so bad. So if I just even changed that a little, I would probably lose 100 pounds because it was so gluttonous.
Brian needs a do-rag or
I do.
a
I'm
paper
sweating
towel.
here.
That's all right.
It's been warm in here today.
It's been warm. That's all right.
Adam, I don't
we'll dab
appreciate you calling COVID the big C. That's reserved for something else. How did you get COVID?
How did I get? Well, if I knew, I wouldn't have got it.
Well, Dr. Drew knows. He says you're in the hospital, walking around.
Oh, no, I got it at work. I mean, at our
So
morning,
you do? Okay.
Yeah, at the morning show at the time. I mean, it it steamrolled through there like a freight train.
Oh, through the morning show?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate the do-rag. Thank you, Adam.
Did everyone get it?
Almost everyone. Not everyone. Jennifer Horn, my friend, and who I worked with there for many years, she got a negative, but they thought it was her doctor treated her, and everybody treated it like a false negative because she had all the symptoms. You heard about false positives, but not a lot of false negatives. And then I got a positive. I mean, because when I do something, Adam, I like to really do it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to get COVID, I don't want a false positive. I want to get, I want to get the whole thing. And I did the nasal swab, and it came back, but I had no symptoms. I was virtually asymptomatic, but I had a few days of some, a little bit of coughing. But it's interesting. And I think many folks probably, I know many folks have experienced this. I'm certainly not the only one, obviously. So forgive me for that. But when you are asymptomatic, and I got the positive, and I said to the person at the office, the urgent care, I said, I'm asymptomatic. She said, well, guess what? You might not have symptoms today, she said, and I quote, on the way out the door, but all of them can hit you tomorrow. I said, that's all.
Cool.
You have any good news? And so that was in my head the whole time. And then if you sneeze or if you cough, you think, oh my gosh, every raindrop is a tsunami is what I had.
So no long hauler stuff for you.
I think I got to be, I know. I do feel actually a little, no, I'm fine. I really am fine.
That's great.
But I have to say that the emotional part of not having symptoms, Adam and Gina, but thinking, okay, they can come tomorrow because I had no symptoms. When HR called me from work, they said, you should get tested because now, another person, they don't name the person, and of course I understand that, but who you work very closely with tested positive. So that was a Friday afternoon. I like to start my weekends that way. So I immediately began to quarantine and went to the next day, got an appointment and went in. And then the result for the nasal swab came like 2 days later. So I was, isolating. But that's not very different from my regular life.
No.
Yeah, they answered the question of where'd you get it. It's so random. Drew thinks he got it at the hospital, but he doesn't know. But then, speaking of radio, our good friend Bean. Of Kevin and Bean Baxter.
Yes.
He got it, and he was like, I followed all the rules. I didn't do anything. I got it. Mike August was positive after being vaccinated. I think he got it from a bakery outside of Golden.
You know who just...
really?
But now isn't he, he got tested so he could travel.
Just announced today that he got tested positive after the vaccine.
You talk too much.
Rich Eisen.
Oh, is that Rich Eisen?
He went on Twitter and said,
I don't think it was ever you can't get it. It's your symptoms will be much less severe and you probably won't be hospitalized.
Yes, but Mike, the thing that's comic. Now, here's what's comical about it.
By the way, I have to say, I look back on my time, my intimate rendezvous with it. There's a lot of funny in there. I mean, bless everyone who...
It wasn't so funny.
I understand that. Yeah. I do understand that. But there are moments where you have to go, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous, because I have people I love a lot calling up and saying, Conway says, hey man, I'm going to bring you some coldies, man. So people you love a lot are coming to the front door. I live in an apartment, and they're on the phone. Yeah, all right, I'm walking up the stairs, man. And I'm already a little neurotic, a little bit. And you have this, oh my gosh, I'm in here. But the people I love, my birthday came during the isolation. They're right outside the door. So you can't pull back the shade and even wave, because then you feel like a jerk because you're not letting them in. But guess what? They don't want to come in anyway.
Yeah.
There is comedy, which is Mike wearing a mask for a 2.5-hour airline flight is like you trying to put a baseball hat and sunglasses on your dog. It's just every once in a while you'll pull the thing over your dog. Your dog starts rubbing on the wall, like trying to get away from this thing. Like Mike just wrestles with his mask the entire time. Then he gets COVID positive test after being vaccinated. And then he explains that he's now forced to wear a mask at home because his wife doesn't want him giving it to the kids. Okay. And then I explain that you're not supposed to be able to, you've been vaccinated, you're not going to spread it to the kids. Does not matter. He must sit at home 24/7 and wear a mask. Now the guy who couldn't tolerate it on a flight to Phoenix is now
it's everything
24/7 mask at home.
The flight would now be an oasis away from the mask, maybe arguably. He's got to.
And also the amount of eating that Mike does on an airplane, the mask is barely. I mean, it just. He does 77% of the flight. He's eating, so there's no real mask time.
The mask is on a total of 14 minutes.
But wrestles so much with the mask that is still attacked incessantly by folks who work on the airplane. Just in the 22% of the time his mask is supposed to be up when he's not eating. That's the difficulty he has with masks.
Right. I remember when I got it. It was about a year ago, almost exactly in the summer last year. In July I got it, and that's when I tested and I found out that I had it. But if I had not been told that someone, if HR had not called me and said, "Hey, go get tested," I didn't feel sick. But having said that, it was before vaccines, so I went to the urgent care, and it was a July morning, and it's about 112 degrees in the urgent care, and about 128 degrees right outside the urgent care.
In the valley?
Yeah, in Glendale. And there were folks, all huddled around. Not COVID was creeping. It was here, but it was uncommon at that time, or atypical for someone to walk in and be tested for COVID. It was still a head turner, whereas today, obviously it wouldn't be. And I remember I went in there and I just they had plastic over the partition, and I went to the young lady at the desk and I said, "Hi, I'm here for a test," because I didn't want to, And she said, "Oh, you're here for a test?" I said, "Yeah, say it louder, baby." So everyone is like, "Oh, geez, what?" I mean, it was really a very surreal and odd experience.
Hypothetical threesome question for you, Brian Whitman.
Sure, let's go for it.
All right. Now these are the rules.
The rules are different?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you rather be with 1-8 on a 0 to 10 scale?
Okay.
So you get a night with a beautiful woman.
See it.
Or would you rather have a threesome with a combined 10? You could break it down any way you want.
I appreciate the offer, and I do appreciate the options, because life is about options. And I think I'm definitely going to go with the former. I'm going to take the 8 and leave the... you're describing what sounds like a little bit of a circus environment in the latter option. I think I'm going to pass.
Take the safe money.
I think I'm going to take the safe money and hopefully go to the bonus round.
Yeah.
Holding a winning lottery ticket. For
yes.
For
yes,
$8.
Yes.
But yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, right. You look maybe surprised by my choice.
I don't know. I think it's kind of an interesting wiring, which is some guys are wired to say, it's the ninth inning, I want the ball in my hand, I want to take the mound. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Other guys go, that sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And the threesome, I can break down the threesome guys, feels like a lot of pressure to some guys.
But, proving my neurosis, now that you kind of say the word pressure, being with 1-8, there could be pressure. I could probably get lost in that second group. What was there, 3 or 4 people in that second group?
Three.
There's a
three.
combined. There's 2 ladies.
Okay.
Combined score can't pass 10.
So a 6 and a 4, maybe.
Sure, yeah.
Less pressure there.
Right.
Depends on my mood.
Oh, you're right. Less pressure with the 6 and the 4 than the 1-8.
If I had to break the isolation fast, it would be the 6 and the 4 and the 2, me, or the 3, me, whatever I'd come in as. You know what I mean?
Are we factoring in your own number?
Now notice I went from top of the mountain to now diminishing myself.
Right.
Yes, I like that.
It's COVID.
A lot of range.
Yeah, right. A lot of
I got you higher in a 3, Whitman.
Do you really?
Not a lot, but higher.
When Adam came out and said hi to me, he said, "Hey, you look fit." And I said, "Fit? I appreciate your support.
Yes.
You make me feel better about myself."
I try to choose words to make people feel a certain way.
They matter. They do matter. They do really matter. You can't just say anything.
It's impactful.
Yeah, I'm thinking
It's impactful.
you got full-blown AIDS, but what's coming out of my mouth is you look fit.
I understand that. Hey, wow, you've been working out a little bit. Well, yeah, it makes me feel good, so thank you.
Walking at night,
I know.
I don't know if you guys have any night walkers in your neighborhood.
No,
I
that's
wouldn't know.
Make me
Rarely.
the creepiest guy in the world.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There's some. I got a night walker.
Yeah.
Now, night
You're
walker.
right. Plenty
Sounds
of
like a
morning
horror
walkers, not a lot of night walkers.
Night walker's a tell. Night walker with reflective vests, even a little crazier for some reason.
Yeah. No,
I don't know why the safety does it. And then I don't know if you guys have. Do you guys have night walker? I have a night walker and I have weird jogger.
What do you mean weird jogger?
The guy's jogging with like the one foot kind of flapped out toward Mecca, and his arms are kind of moving in a spastic way.
Oh.
Not tight jogger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Weird jogger.
And I had to do that assessment. I had to kind of do that equation when I decided to lose some weight. And I saw myself in a vest, as you described, with some sort of...
Do you have the reflective vest?
Tape.
Correct.
Oh, boy.
Because I don't want to get hit by a car.
Write that down.
And I thought I could go out there and run like that, but I'm not. I don't run well, as a turn, especially then, 100 pounds heavier than I am right now. I mean, that is not a good look. And I knew that would be embarrassing for me. And then I thought, well, I could walk, but that's pathetic. And people said, how long do you walk for? I said, I walk for an hour. Yes, I walk for 1 hour. And I would just walk. I mean, not a fast walk, actually a pretty slow walk. And just for an hour. And I would... You know what? It was a mistake. It was an error in judgment because I would go around the block for an hour, and probably as a night walker, I probably alarmed some of the neighbors.
Let me see go down this trail, see if we need to get Britney Spears' dad involved with your situation here. Reflective vest, check.
Check.
Appropriate attire, like are you wearing Dockers? Because that then goes to crazy.
Dress shoes.
Again, are you wearing like Wilson tennis shoes with maybe not a New Balance or a Nike?
I don't know if this is good or bad. I'll just tell you the truth. They're brand new. They're white sneakers. I keep them in the box, in the shoe box, and I just keep them in a closet.
Let me write that down.
I only take them out to walk.
Back to the box?
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to
Okay.
get them.
Wow.
Is that the wrong
Kick 'em
answer?
off by the
Slow
door.
down. Go ahead. Reflective vest, check. Back to box.
Are they all white?
Okay.
Yes. They're, well, no. They,
What kind of shoes?
They're sneakers.
I know.
What brand?
Oh, no, not
sneakers,
Tap,
brand
Jazz.
sneakers.
What are we talking
Jazz.
about?
No, they're. I guess they're Nikes, but they're all, and they're not high tops, but they're thick.
They're supportive.
Absolutely, because I have foot pain.
Sure.
Slacks,
Oh,
shorts.
Adam, these
what
are
we-
nurse shoes.
No, I wear
Velcro, or
orthopedics.
the Velcro involved with the shoes?
No, but I'm not afraid to do that because I want to walk safely. I don't want to fall.
Are the laces elastic?
No, they're not. But I can throw a little elastic over
You
the front.
tie the laces.
I do tie them, and that's a challenge too when you're 100 pounds heavier than I am now because you got to put your foot like on top of
Right.
something because I can't bend over.
What are
this.
we wearing? We wearing dungarees?
Well, no, because that's hot. I don't want to chafe. That's too hot. But I would wear. I have a very nice pair of gray sweatpants, and they are
Okay.
They have elastic, but that's my buffet busters.
Right.
So they,
Sure.
they move with me.
Okay, you're good.
And I can show you what I wear because I do walk with them. Can I grab?
I've seen enough. I've heard enough. You're fine.
I am.
Yeah, try to keep the shoes out of the box when you come home. That's all.
we
That's
made
my
a decision.
recommendation.
But I don't want them. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive.
Why do they go back in the box? Are you afraid of tracking dirt in?
Because walking mattered to me that hour, and I still do it now, but not every night. And it matters. So I do want to keep those sneakers in top condition.
In the box.
It's
Absolutely.
more of a symbol.
Right.
That's bad.
It's how you hurt yourself.
But you guys know when you leave them out of the box and you wake up and they've been eroded by the wind in the hands of time.
I mean, we've all been.
You know that
That's
Yeah.
it's cliche. It's old as time.
Yeah.
what's a pair of Nikes last me 4 days probably if I leave them
Well,
out
if
of the
you
box.
leave them out,
Lucky.
yeah.
I've had these for 29 months.
There you go.
That's why.
All right.
I'll bring them in sometime. You can see them.
That'd be great.
Please. All right, you want to do a little ass crack and back sack in the morning? Do we have some music?
Happy to do it.
Wait, Gina, who are you?
I was going to say, who am I? I believe I'm.
You're back sack.
I believe you started calling me Stacks.
Oh, you're Stacks. Right. You're doing the entertainment news?
Yep.
Three X's.
Yeah, 3 axes.
The
Brian,
gossip gal.
who are you?
Marty St. Clair in the air.
Marty St. Clair in
Give
the
it a
air.
try.
Yeah, I love that too. And I don't want to say.
Okay.
Hi, back to Ass Crack and Back Sack in the morning. We got Marty St. Clair in the air. He's out there as the Stater Brothers Chopper, Sky Chopper 9. He's going to give us news and traffic, weather, news. And also we got Stacks over there. She got the entertainment report. She got over there. What's going on with Johnny Depp over there? Okay, I don't care. And we got Back Sack over there.
Good morning, everybody. Great to be with you. Now, you're standing by when you hear the tookie bird. Sometime between now and next November, be caller 100 when you hear the tookie bird and show us your nuts in the morning, everybody. Your
All right,
nuts. You're not.
We got traffic, weather, traffic, weather at Montebello, checking in 72 degrees, 9 Bar, 72, Baldwin Park, 72, Palos Verdes, 72, Arcadia, 72 degrees, Cerritos checking in 72 degrees, Hollywood, Pasadena, Torrance, 72 degrees.
Yep,
Palmdale,
Yeah.
Back Zach.
El Monte, California. 72 degrees right now with ass crack and butt crack and lava yellow.
Fountain Valley, checking in 72 degrees. Locking down 72. Redondo, 72. Downey, 72 degrees. Carson, checking in at 72 degrees. Stacks, what do you got from the infotainment board?
Well, just turns out that The Rock is releasing his own line of arm butter.
I don't think I saw it. I got to tell you something, Back Zach. I saw that line. I saw Fast 9. Not impressed.
Yeah, man, I love it. I gotta say good morning to the office of the day today. It's Annabelle, Wendy, and Jillian at ADP Customer Service. I get lunch at Burger King and some zoo shirts.
Artie Sinclair?
Hey, up here in the Sky Chopper, we got a mattress in lanes on the 5, a box spring in lanes on the 405, a futon in lanes on the 105. This brought to you by Ben Bridge, your personal jeweler, Ben Bridge. Back to you in the studio.
I gotta tell you guys, Sludge is going to be down at the Chili's in Norwalk. Go down there, kick Sludge in the nuts, get a beer koozie. Am I right, Back Zach?
Absolutely, everybody. Make sure you go see him at Chili's, and make sure you turn up the heat because it can get a little chilly. It's at Chili's, everybody.
San Dimas checking 72, Claremont 72, Altadena 72, City of Industry 72, Pomona 72 degrees, Santa Monica 72 degrees, Studio City checking in 72 degrees, Alhambra 72, Hawthorne 72, Huntington Beach 72, Seal Beach 72, Calabasas 72, Inglewood 72 degrees, Artesia checking in at 72, and Redondo checking in 72 degrees. Stacks.
We'll tease you in Artesia, Stacks. You're hot, Bill.
She's hot, huh?
Hey, which peasant top did Britney Spears wear to Cancun? Find out after the break.
It's 6 o'clock and the sun comes up and the zoo crew's on the air. So get out of bed and move your butt and kick it in high gear. You're moving on. Crank the volume up so everyone can hear. Like an and rip off the knob. You know what to do. Stand up proud and say it loud. I love the morning zoo.
That's Crack of the Morning. We got Stacks over here.
That's right.
And we got not Artie Pie in the sky.
Marty St. Clair.
Marty St. Clair in the air.
Man,
Marty St. Clair jumping in from the air. Wait, just in, we got a Murphy bed in lanes on the 605. This report brought to you by Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Today, your car today. Back to you in the studio.
As Crack, I know you work closely with a lot of charities out there. Cars for Kids, near and dear to your heart.
Yep, absolutely, man. In fact, I had Corky my Yorkie pal up with some of the kids in the Cars for Kids of Remote. You have Cars for Kids, and we have a security animal for you if you're jumping in your car from a kid and for a kid on the Ass Crack and Backsack Show in the morning.
Stacks.
Yeah.
Brittany's wearing what?
She's wearing a peasant top, and Demi Lovato's protesting a new frozen yogurt shop. Find out which one at the top of the hour.
I want to tell everybody who's just coming out of isolation and quarantine. We know it's been a tough year for everybody, and I do want to say that I loved. We're doing it for about 2 weeks there. I would say you're socially distanced, but we're emotionally airtight. We're ass cracking, Backsack, poor La Manana. Welcome back. We've missed you.
Ass Crack, we spoke off the air. You opened up emotionally in ways that I haven't seen another co-host open up in a lot of ways.
COVID's going to do that to you.
I know you got the COVID. I know you're isolated. I know may have ripped the Band-Aid off a couple of wounds you had with your stepdad back in the day growing up in Muncie.
Well, I don't know that this should be fatter. I don't know that my own struggle with COVID-19 should be fatter. But I realized this isn't the first time I felt isolation.
Yeah, my program director said to open up, start talking about things that are near and dear to our heart, and make it a little more personal in the show instead of giving up. Hold on, we have we got Marty St. Clair in the air.
Yeah, there's a sleeping bag in lanes on the 805. This brought to you by Empire Carpets. 1-800-588-2300 Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, I'm Rana checking in 72 degrees. Stacks, what's going on in the world of entertainment?
Well, Justin Bieber says he would marry Hailey Baldwin Bieber all over again. Oh.
Personal trials and tribulations, Backsack.
It was a tough time. It was a tough time. And I think I've let you know that I do this for one reason. It's to make connections with people that I'll never meet in person. And try to make morning time a little more welcoming for everybody. Wrestle with that big, bad boss of yours. Again, lunch at Burger King and zoo shirts for the ups of the day. We thank you for listening to Ass Crack and Backsack. but I want to talk about my wanting and my need to feel the touch of a loving person. And I'm sorry the Zoom didn't do it, because I zoomed right to the alcohol.
Back Zach, Ass Crack in the morning, 7:10. That's 10 after 7. That's 50 away from the top of the hour. We got Stacks over there on entertainment.
Yeah.
We got Marty St. Clair in the air. 7, now it's 7:12. 7:12, 12 after the top of the hour. That's 48 away from the top of the hour. And,
that's right. 108 minutes away. And let me tell you, everybody, if you have to be there, it's 108 minutes. Speaking of 108, I want to welcome our new affiliate to the Ass Crack and Backsack show in the morning. Kiss 108 FM. Former home of Maddie in the morning. Let's say goodbye. Hombre, we were dropping the beat from high atop the Prue at WXKSFM Bedford Boston. Kiss 108 FM.
Backsack, I want to tell you guys, Sludge is going to be out at the Chick-fil-A in Cerritos. So go over there, get Sludge in a sleeper hold, and win yourself some
and if you're
fanny pack.
If you're anything like me, you'll roll up there with a hot chick. Good fun.
Backsack, I know you've been struggling with your sexuality for a long time because of the abuse at the hands of your stepdad back in Muncie so many years ago. Any revelations on that subject?
Well, I can tell you it was said by many people. Many people are elected officials and the good people who I work with in my not-for-profit. I gotta say that what happened with COVID, and of course I believe I'm a lug holler, everybody, but I believe that any problem you had, any challenge you had was exacerbated by quarantine and isolation. I thought I was home free as I was looking for my release date from my personal torture chamber known as my apartment. But guess what? All of those challenges from childhood, life, my dad telling me I just wasn't strong enough, telling me I didn't build a fort like all the other boys. All those feelings of inadequacy came back to me like a boomerang with ass crack and back. Sack of the morning time.
Well, we feel your pain, Stacks.
Yeah. So glad you reached out because sources say Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde are thinking about getting a second goldfish.
Harry. Yeah, back sack's waiting, buddy.
Marty St. Clair in the air.
This just in, shoulder work on the 215. Pardon me, boss. Be sure to slow down for the cone zone. This report brought to you by farmers. We are farmers. Bump it up, bump, 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 bump.
Backsack, I know the radio industry's turned its back on you. You've been let go from almost every radio job you've ever had. Hopefully this is a new home you found here.
Yeah, where are we going with this? Talking about my employment history.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, just setting the table. We're welcoming you aboard. We appreciate what you bring to the show.
I appreciate
It's unclear what it is, but we appreciate what you bring to the show.
If you don't know what it is, talk to my friend, formerly known as Captain Y from number 1 Y100, Mark Lipoff, who went off to be a consultant, and he works at Morning Show Boot Camp at the Conclave in the Twin Cities every year, and he'll take you behind the velvet rope and let you know what I bring. I'm kind of surprised, seeing you every morning, whether it's on a Zoom or right here in the studio, that you don't yet know by know what I bring to the Ass Crack and Backsack show in the morning time.
Well, I know what you bring, but of course I'm asking for the listener.
I've had a tough year, bud.
Yeah, tough year. Yeah, well, I don't want to pile on by talking about your suspect sexuality or the strange relationship you have with your stepdad from Muncie and the many consultants you've run into on your many travels to many radio stations all throughout the country.
I didn't think it was possible, but it's 17 minutes after the hour you decided to hit the accelerator as we zoom to Destination Grievance on that HR highway.
I should mention, Ass Crack kind of left us hanging there because it was 17 after the hour, but we didn't know it was 43 from the top of the hour.
Hey, man. Not everything I do on this program is always selfless devotion to others. Sometimes I got a timestamp the inauguration of my HR grievance, and I did that at 17 minutes after the hour. That was 1 minute ago, and it's followed up by a professional critique at 18 minutes after the hour. Buddy, you are on an earth that's quaking, my bud.
That's 42 from the top of the hour, which once again, Ass Crack just sort of let slip between the ass and the cracks.
Yeah, man.
There.
I didn't know we were doing an air check session right here on the air, but I guess I should be prepared for anything after COVID-19.
Understood.
And why you would come into the studio last year, the earliest days, before anybody told anybody to wear them. And I'd talk to you off the air, and you'd get real close. I thought maybe sometimes you had the droplets of doom, and you were trying to spread them over here to Mr. Backsack.
Stacks, what's going on in the entertainment world?
So glad you asked. Do you want a chance to win a collection of JoJo Siwa's hair bows? Well, you just hit our website to enter.
Well, I should tell everyone Sludge is going to be down at Dave & Buster's in Whittier. So give Sludge a belly rub and give him the phrase it pays. Get that beer koozie on it. Marty, in the air?
This just in, there's a car fire in the number 4 lane of the 15. That's right, a barbecue. This report brought to you by Jared. He went to Jared. Back to you in the studio.
And remember that phrase it pays. Show us your nuts with Ass Crack and Backsack in the morning. And by the way, the Free Money Music Monitor is cranked up. When you hear Madonna's Like a Prayer, be caller 100 and just tell us the 159 songs we played after Madonna's Like a Prayer. 159 right after Like a Prayer. You're going to win a $100 bill from Ass Crack and Backsack.
Diamond Bar, checking in 72 degrees. Baldwin Park, 72 degrees. Azusa, 72. Topanga, 72. Covelish City, 72. Monterey Park, 72 degrees. Irwindale, 72. Encino, 72. And San Bernardino, 72 degrees.
72 right now in Acton, everybody. Thanks for waking up with Ass Crack and Backsack in the morning. Never thought I'd say. Never thought I'd say, because I was in my own private torture chamber, known as my Studio Zudio apartment, I call it, with Corky the Yorkies helping out those cars. The kids in the cars for kids. But I never thought I would miss quarantine or isolation. Never thought I'd miss social distancing. But, buddy, the way you're bringing it, doing it to it, bringing it in my kids real high, has me missing the yesteryears. That's right. That time known as Camelot, my personal isolation with COVID-19.
Well, let me tell you something, Backsack. You're working with Ass Crack now.
I know it, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's
man.
called Ass Crack and Backsack in the morning. It's not called Backsack and Ass Crack in the morning. That would be insane. My name comes first in this morning show. I know you've worked with some quasi-professionals over the years, some people who dabbled in radio, but I'm what you call a stalwart, a seasoned vet.
When you say I've worked, and you're doing it sarcastically, I hear it dripping from your mouth like the droplets of doom that you sent my way last April. Let me tell you something. If you're referring to Coach Tom on the Breakfast Club, Power 99 WAPW Atlanta, that guy is hot. He is hot as a firecracker, man. And I fought like a warrior to get Coach Tom with me when I went to number 1 Y100, 100.7 on your FM, like it and rip the knob off. But Captain Y, man, he had the traffic. He had it. It was his franchise. So I had to tell Coach Tom he had to stay in hot Atlanta, man. Yeah, but we're talking about 2 broadcast legends here. So, man, I got nothing but respect for what you do. Mm-hmm. Nothing but respect for what you do.
That guy's a pussy.
Coach Tom or Captain Y?
Both of them.
Well, hit the gas. I want to make it to Destination Grievance before the top of the hour with Ass Crack and Backsack in the morning time.
All right, let's bring it home. That makes me laugh every goddamn time. The great Brian Whitman.
Oh, shit. That could be a morning show in some markets.
Yeah,
some. Oh, my God. Coach Tom is like a billionaire.
All right, we got the news coming up. First, I'll tell you about ScottsCheapFlights.com. Scott's Cheap Flights. Travel the world and never pay full price again. People pay way too much for flights. Prices go up, they go down by hundreds of dollars, even in the same day. So you could pay a different price than the person next to you on the exact same flight. They combine technology with a team of flight experts to monitor thousands of routes on major airlines all day, every day. When prices drop, they send members an email and they send them an alert so they'll never miss an amazing deal like to Europe or Japan for less than $300 round trip on quality airlines, no less. No kickbacks from airlines. Their only goal is to send their members great deals. It's Scott's Cheap Flights, right, Dawson?
Join for free at scottscheapflights.com/Adam and never overpay for flights again. Again, join for free at scottscheapflights.com/Adam. scottscheapflights.com/Adam.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral. Weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gina Grad. Stuff face on TMZ. Joe Biden, Kamala. Meet news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, we do have some breaking news that broke during the show as we record this. LA County is re-implementing its mask mandate indoors regardless of vaccination status. That's amid an increase in coronavirus case numbers and concerns over the Delta variant. This was just announced. The new masking orders go into effect at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. This is LA County Health Director Dr. Muntu Davis. He said to reporters, "We're not where we need to be for the millions at risk of infection here in LA, and waiting to do something will be too late given what we're seeing." LA County has seen several consecutive days with more than 1,000 new cases. Reportedly, a rapid and sustained spike in the number of cases. He says masking indoors must again become a normal practice by all, regardless of vaccination status, so they can stop the trends and level of the transmission we're currently seeing.
That's pathetic. Trying to flatten that curve.
All right, couple things. I talked to Drew about it. Delta, more contagious, but less virulent. Virulent.
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Wait, what does that mean?
It's spreading more easily, but it's not bad when you get
less
it.
people on respirators.
Yeah. Or they've figured out what to do with it. So it spreads more easily, but it's, I guess it's kind of a, I don't know if it's a kind of yin and yang of nature, but as these things evolve, the variants, they evolve to spread easier, but they also kind of lose their juice a little
so
bit.
So they're more transmittable, if that's a word, right?
Yes.
But, I knew a guy, you say the Lord does not, Al Rantel. We know Al, right?
Al Rantel.
The Lord doesn't giveth with both hands. And, it's like, so you don't get hit with two hands or you don't receive with two hands. So you could catch it easier, but if you catch it, it's apparently not as bad. Okay. But these numbers are concerning, right? But
well, now I'm curious is Al Rantel still with us?
You mean here with me? How the Al Rantel show. Al was great. He used to talk, Adam, about all these liberals in Sacramento, and he would say, I learned from him.
Was Al gay?
Huh. Wait, hold on. Let me check my scorecard. No. No.
He had that
it's in the red.
To him. He was a
the Al Rantel show, 1-800-222-KABC. Oh, no. These liberals running around in Sacramento, and this one running around with the transgendered bathrooms, and no one who does anything bad is sitting stationary. They're always running around.
Running around. Al Rantel was on out here in Los Angeles for
a long time.
20 years?
Yeah,
or
for a long time.
Is he gone? Is he somewhere?
He is. I think he moved from California, but he's still
running around.
Running around. Oh, no, you don't.
Do you do any David Viscott?
You pop the top.
No, I love, Al was on, a couple of years ago he left, right?
God,
but he used to say, the Lord does not giveth with both hands.
Oh, he's right.
Do you do any Michael Jackson? Not the pop singer.
Right, because I did the pop singer, but the other Michael Jackson. I used to love when he would always set up his interview. I'm not doing this. You tricked me to go here and do Michael Jackson. This is a trick.
He's pimping you,
as
they say in improv.
Right. Yes. Yeah, these are just
suggestions.
I grew up out here.
Right.
I always listen to talk radio. I listen to it like you'd turn it on for your dog if you were going to leave the house for 12 hours.
Sound.
Like something was going on that could feel a little secure.
Right.
I could hear somebody talking, and I would just listen to all these people all day, every day.
Michael Jackson. Oh, Michael Jackson with you. Oh, look who stopped by. Beatrice calling. He would act like it was always, I can't believe it.
Yes,
Beatrice.
Just stop by.
Just kind of come through. Oh, Desmond Tutu. I didn't know you were coming.
The head of the UN came by, just unannounced, just to sit in with Michael Jackson. He was really a skilled interviewer.
He had that beautiful. Is Mr. Michael Jackson, forgive me, he has a beautiful voice, and he was just, for the dog, no disrespect, for anyone, it's a relaxing sound.
Mm-hmm.
And he would get all those huge guests, everybody.
Yeah.
L'Aquilessa, how are you? Yeah. here they come. You know, they come in.
Yeah, I love that.
Good times.
And then there was Dean Adele.
Dr. Dean Adele.
Dr. Dean Adele. And Viscott was great. I mean, Dr. David Viscott, who I did some work with when he used to be on with Rick Dees. Oh, David, you're wonderful. I love what you do. Dr. D, David Viscott right here on the Dees hotline. Hi, David. It would be this. A lady would call her a man, but the call I'm remembering is a woman who said, I can't find a man. I will, for a week or two, I'll have feelings, and then they go away. And David Viscott, like from a sleep, totally quiet, went, when did you learn your father was an alcoholic? And she goes, oh my God, I was 12. Right. You know, and it was like, David, what is with you? But it was that impressive, dude. It really was incredible.
I did a sketch at the Acme Comedy Club where Paul, one of the guys in the thing, the guy went on to do Animaniacs and Freakazoid and stuff like that. Paul Rugg, not Rudd, played David Viscott in a sketch. In a stand. That's how much I like David Viscott.
He's my friend.
Can I tell you?
Yeah,
yes,
right.
My friend. What was that?
Right. Yeah, I don't.
Rick Dees.
Oh, you know it. Hey, David, it's Wednesday, and here he is.
Oh, stop. What was that?
Well, I'm just doing the show.
Right there. Well, that, my friend.
It's just me.
What was that? Stop. Go back.
Oh, okay. God dang it. Why does he have to come in and...
Hey, my friend, stop there. What was that?
Well, that was a nervous tick.
Okay, go back, my friend.
Okay, it is Kiss right here.
All right, not that far.
God
Come
dang
a
it.
little forward, my friend.
It is 51.
Well, there it is.
Dees Grease.
What was that?
Right here at Kiss. And we have...
My friend.
Dees.
What?
Sleeves.
Go back.
Panties.
What was that?
Free installation.
Stop, my friend. Go back.
Oh, I'd love to give you dinner for
What
four.
was that?
Tony Roma's.
What was... No, come forward,
Oh,
my friend.
that was me overcompensating for feeling
All right, my
diminished.
friend. All right, stop. Right there. Right there. What was that?
That was me reaching for the new number one from George Michael.
Stop, my friend. I need you to stop.
Well, David.
Go back.
It's Rick Dees.
No, there.
Right?
No, right there.
That was
what was that?
That was the $1 million
I don't know what that
station
was,
ID.
Go back then, my friend.
If I call your birthday, match the month, you get $1,000.
My friend, I need you to stop there.
And day.
Move forward.
$10,000. And if you nail the year, it's $1 million.
My friend, I need you to stop there.
Just for being born.
Go back. What was that?
That was Ellen K with the weather.
That's pretty good.
This David is David was brilliant. David Viscott was brilliant. Everything was something. When you were around him, you're like, than me, I got more ticks than somebody who's stranded in a
junkyard
desert.
dog.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, that is great.
And I would be afraid to talk to David
because if you inhaled, he'd go, "What was that about, my friend?"
This chick called from Tarzana on the phone, and she thought, bless her, she thought it was that she wasn't finding the right guy. Maybe her expectations are too high, and she had about 8 seconds on the air. And I go from one, and then 2 weeks later, I don't have feelings. David, you do the. How old were you when you learned your father was an alcoholic? Poof, it was like you heard like a cinder block fall in her apartment in Tarzana. I was 12.
Oh, that is great. Here's Madonna.
Rick had tough times transitioning sometimes from Viscott back to the hits
right here at Kiss.
That was a little awkward sometimes.
I'm not going to ask for Disco Duck, but I will say I listened to Viscott 30 years, had his own TV show for a while.
And how about that tight shot? It was his face.
Yeah,
and
it's taking up the entire screen, wearing a sweater. But by the way, therapist sweater, the cardigan, but the thick, woolly,
and
big.
He'd get this from Dees off the air.
David, you have great hair.
And this is something Rick would often say.
You have that, I swear it's true, that Ozzie Nelson hairline. So nice.
Big compliment.
It was odd. It was an odd thing to hear.
I got to tell you, the most terrified I've ever been in my life was when I was like 23 and I was listening to David Viscott and I heard my stepdad call in.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Like,
oh, no.
Gosh.
Is he cheating? Is he gay? Did he molest? I was like, oh, my God.
But you found out in 8 seconds because Viscott nailed it probably.
I was scared to death. I was like, what?
Is that true? You recognize the voice?
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, it was great. It was perfect. It was like, he said, it's about my stepkids, and I was like,
oh my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. But then it was perfect. It was like, The boy I get along great with, the girl not so much. I was like, that's right. I'm fine.
I can listen to KFI now. I'll tell you. No, but isn't that
Proving radio is an intimate medium. Here's young Adam in his bunk bed, and there's his stepdad on the phone with Dr. D, David Viscott.
My friend, what was that?
That was just me going to call
Hold
her.
on. No, right there. The way you said bunk bed, my friend. What was that bunk
What's
bed?
for lunch? We have fungus fried
Okay,
steak.
go back. What is that? What are you feeling now? What's going on? Right there. Right now. Right now. Don't think about it. Just
I'm
tell
so
me how you feel.
frustrated. I'm so frustrated.
Wait, stop. Wait. What was that? I don't know what that was.
It was me exhaling.
Go back.
They want me to play, no,
not that fun. My friend, step forward a little bit.
It's all white records.
Hold on. What
this
was
is
that?
L.A.
I don't know what that is.
God almighty.
Stop there.
It's
that.
me.
Right there.
It's-
Now. There.
it's
What is that?
rage.
Right now.
Rage. It's
right
rage.
Now. No,
It's
right there.
rage.
Right here.
The biggest-
No, go back. Go back, my friend.
It's
what is it? No, there. Right there. Right now. What is that?
It's 10 o'clock. Here's Bruce Vidal for the midday. I got to get out of here. Good God almighty.
That's Rick.
That's how it went.
I love Rick. I have such affection, but that's him.
That's it.
He would never, he never.
Permission to speak freely.
People would say to him, people very close to him would say, Rick, the show is great. You've been on for 20 years, almost 30. The show is great. But the best show is this show that nobody hears or sees when the music's on. This is the show.
I don't want to do that.
And God bless Ricky, the hardest working guy.
I just don't want to do that.
My friend.
No,
the truth. The truth shall set you free.
Well, the truth is that on the air, I'm in a great mood.
Stop. Wait a minute.
But then I get
friend.
this.
But my friend, you're competing with Kevin and Bean.
David,
it's a slice of reality.
You know what? They sent a stalker to my home.
Hold on. What was? Stop there.
Whoa,
Back.
Mike the
What?
mechanic, or Mike
I love that
Rutherford.
band. Stop, my friend.
God
what was
almighty.
that? Go back.
That was me being the fattest kid in the third grade,
Okay.
and wanting to have more cobbler.
Right there, fat cobbler, third grade. Go.
But my Andes, bless her, great lady, and she really is
Hold
number
on, my
one.
friend.
Number
Right-
one.
Well, no, now. You number one.
Well-
You're number one with me. What was that?
Well, David, thank you for telling me I'm number one. But sometimes I feel like I'm 19, moving back to 23 on the
All right,
countdown.
stop. Wait, my friend. What was that?
It's me feeling
Okay,
mistreated.
Go back.
I'm mistreated.
There, right there.
I
right
am
now.
mistreated.
Right there.
I feel like the fattest
Stop.
kid in
Wait.
the third grade.
Go back. Hold on. Right there. What is that?
It's me wrestling.
Explain that.
Okay.
What is that?
May I?
Was your dad an alcoholic, my friend?
I'd love to tell you.
My friend.
I was an Eagle Scout.
Stop. Wait.
But
Go back.
I never felt sexy.
Wait. Move forward now. You went too far back.
No. I'm not sexy, and I understand
Fast
that.
forward a little.
But I am in a way. Ask Liz Rugburns Fulton. She's number one. But, I feel...
Stop. Wait a minute. My friend. What was that right there? You feel what?
David.
Stop. Wait. You feel what?
I feel
Stop.
inadequate.
Wait. Go back. You feel what?
I feel like I
Wait.
make
Stop. Move forward.
$30 million a year, and I'm
And you
tricking
feel
the
what?
world. But I'm not trying to.
But you
I'm-
feel what, my friend?
I feel overpaid.
Right there. What is that?
But I'm angry,
Right there.
and I say I'm
Stop.
underpaid.
Go back.
David.
Come forward.
Good God Almighty! Give me some Prozac
All right.
or something.
Just go back a little bit. That's basically. We should take Viscott and Rick Dees on the road.
We should.
That's a lot of heavy lifting for Brian, but yeah.
No, I love it because that's so great. That's
What
so
year
funny.
did Viscott, David Viscott? He couldn't have been old when he died. He had a great head of hair.
With an Ozzie Nelson hairline.
He passed. Viscott passed, I believe, in 1996 or 97.
Really? He was
and
young.
He was a young man. I don't think he was 60, and but I might be wrong. He was a young guy, and he was
58.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was working on bringing him back to television to do that show that you were mentioning with the tight shot and everything. And Viscott passed in his place. He was a dear man. He was a very sweet and gentle man. I loved him.
Do we have any of his TV show? That's the question, Chris. Yeah, it would just be a big tight shot of his head.
And they didn't move the shot. They never
He
came back or
just
anything.
Sat in a dark room wearing a big sweater. And
Was it public access?
No.
No.
I feel like it had that vibe.
It was on late at night, right?
Yeah, and it did. Everything kind of had that. We were back in the, 89, we were about where Mexico is today in terms of production, you know. So it was the infancy of those late night shows. They didn't have all the great big sets and everything back then.
And the idea was that he was going to speak intimately, so it was a tight shot. He was great on the radio, but he was also great on television. It was, and even if you young folks were into it because he was just so engaging. It was like watching a guy do magic tricks. But
he would. I think the the TV show, he just took phone calls. He just sat there and punched a phone.
Good thing it was a TV show.
Yeah. But no Baba Booey's back then.
Right. No.
When you heard your stepdad, I'm asking you seriously, I think when he did the radio show, did he say the name of the caller, or did you have to identify your stepdad's voice without the name?
He could have done a John from North Hollywood. Like, I don't know, but it was it hit hard.
I bet.
Because it's that kind of...
It's jarring.
It's that kind of thing where you don't think you know someone's voice until you hear it wearing the headphones, walking in North Hollywood, and you hear that voice, you just stop. Like,
right.
What?
I would hear, doing my hour walk around the neighborhood, I'd hear voices sometimes on the radio.
The show was called Night Talk.
Yes, right.
With David Viscott. And
what was it about? Talking at night.
Talking at night. That's all it was. I don't know if there's any clips of it. All right, Gina, let's bring it home. Sorry about your news.
I think we should. I'm Gina. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That's pathetic.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Any clip of that show died at 58. You know, when a guy dies at 58 and you're 27, you don't think that much about it. But when you're well into your 50s and a guy dies at 58, you go,
that's pathetic.
That was young.
It was young, and it was a surprise. I mean, it was not expected. He was not ill that anyone knew, and I don't know exactly. I don't know.
What did he die of, Chris?
I think it was a heart-related, but I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, it was heart-related.
Okay.
It was a apparent victim of heart disease, but he also purchased a $1 million life insurance policy 3 months before his death.
No. He had the winning birthday, and I gave him the $1 million, and then he bought. God Almighty.
Yeah, there's a great LA Times article all about it where Viscott died alone in October, drained of money and prestige.
Oh.
The parent victim of heart disease.
He had dogs. He loved his pets. I remember that about David, Dr. Viscott.
Yeah, his friend said he was reduced to just being a psychiatrist, and just being a psychiatrist wasn't enough for him.
He missed the limelight. He
died of a broken heart.
Missed the radio.
The tight close-ups.
The tight close-ups.
We got a clip here.
We'll show a clip.
Listen to a little bit of it.
I can remember. I just remember that show. Oh, well, I was all wrong about the crazy sweater.
But that's a pretty crazy sweater.
I'm kidding. That is a crazy sweater.
Right. Look at that look.
We're working on the lines, but that means this is an opportunity for you to learn something that you don't usually learn on this program, something about feelings. Do you know that most people don't know how feelings work? And the truth is that if you don't understand how your feelings work, you really don't understand the world around you. The truth is, the way you see the world is in large part distorted by the feelings that you have not expressed, that you've held in, and that are causing you to see those unexpressed feelings in the world.
Right?
For example, if you've been hurt,
yes,
hurt turns into anger after a while.
Yes.
And you walk in the world as an angry person.
I am.
Eventually seeing anger in places where it doesn't exist.
At
and
home.
The tendency is to react to comments that other people make with anger.
I'm a
and
performer.
That's why you sound inappropriate.
Oh,
Each of us has a goal in life. And the basic goal of mental health is to tell how you feel to the person who caused you to feel that way.
I hate you.
When they caused you to feel that way.
Does that work?
The idea is to keep your feelings current, keep your feelings of the moment, and keep them real.
Now I don't like you.
If you think about it this way, a person who is not living in the feelings of the moment is living in a world that is already past.
Magic
and trying
Matt.
to catch up with what is going on. If you're holding feelings in, you hold feelings in at a great cost to you.
Yes.
And the cost is the cost of energy.
Here's Prince.
Because to hold anger in place, to hold hurt in place, uses up your emotions, uses up your energy, and causes you, more than anything else, to have less energy to invest in the moment
You're
now.
not listening to me,
when
David.
that happens, something strange happens to you.
Gosh.
Did we exaggerate over the tight shot?
No.
I have to
the
tell you.
Spartan set or the sweater?
That's a filmed radio show.
When I would see Dr. Viscott, he was a little bit older than what we see on the screen, but that hair was exactly, that's the hair. It never, bless him, it never left him. That was his hair.
Wow.
And he was probably 15 years older than when we see him here.
Yeah, just a microphone, a black room, and a sweater that you could see from outer space.
That sweater doesn't quit.
Right.
And that was the TV show, just him sitting there talking
simple.
into the microphone.
And it's kind of refreshing or cool because, he's a special guy he was very popular, and that was the extent of the production.
Yeah, I don't know. It all radio becomes sad at some point. I don't know when and how. Sorry, Whitman.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is
about when the clipboards come out, and
he was the toast of the town, and then something happened along the way, and he just sort of faded. But to say like he's just a psychiatrist, I don't know. I feel like that could be pretty rewarding work if you wanted to
and
just
serious,
be a psychiatrist.
when Rick would come on Wednesdays, and Rick would always say he's not a psychologist, he's a psychiatrist, and that was the kind of the line for the feature. Viscott would take calls, but they were celebrating these as psychiatrists, and I'm sad to hear that he's like because he was not just a psychiatrist, because he was a media star as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know him well enough to know if he was unhappy, but he never seemed unhappy. He just seemed like a genius who was quite eccentric.
Well, I'm glad I didn't ask Kat Von D about it, because I don't feel like she would have known nearly as much as Brian Whitman
Just the broad strokes.
did about Dr. David Viscott.
Okay.
All right. If you want to check out Kat Von D's album, Love Made Me Do It, that's available August 27th. There are singles available now. And Brian Whitman, shoot him a tweet at Brian Whitman.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Gina.
As well. And you can go down to Carolla.com for all the live shows going all over this country, Minneapolis and Michigan and Kansas City and all over the place. So,
that's pathetic.
So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Brian Whitman and Kat Von D saying Mahala.
Like, whoa, put on the brakes, whoa.